Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Do you want to know
18, 30,
what it is?
37, 38. 45, 47.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
This can't
Be what? Be real?
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. choice of your team.
All right, now I know y'all are sitting here listening and looking. Like, what the hell is Sid doing now? Like, what is he doing? As the title says, we're trying to find out who the true NBA GOAT is. Who is the GOAT? Hope you took your medicine. Yeah, I took my medicine today, brother. I had to, but you know, we're not talking about it. I've created a system that is going to prove it once and for all. Now, I have placed the top 10 players by ESPN standards in NBA history into the 2003 draft. I've put them at their correct ages when they entered the NBA, and I have put them with their correct stats that they entered the NBA in their first season with. I'm going to progressively make these players better as time goes on, reflecting their true stats. Reflecting their true stats and what they're actually done in their NBA careers. So a lot of people don't realize that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came into the NBA at 22 years old, basically. 21, 22 years old was his first season. He was already polished. He was already Kareem when he stepped foot in the NBA. Michael Jordan came into the NBA at 21 years of age. He played 3 years of college. He was polished when he got into the NBA. He was already Michael Jordan when he came into the league, pretty much. Melo was in here because by default, Melo definitely played he was in that 2003 draft, so he's in the NBA at this time period. Wilt Chamberlain, when he came into the NBA, he was 23 years old. He wasn't 18, he wasn't 19, he was 23 years old when he came into the NBA. Therefore, he was already Wilt. Wilt was already Wilt. Wilt's the only player to win the MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season. That's how good Wilt was when he got into the league. So there's no way you could water Wilt down. He was the best player in the NBA from day one. Literally from day one. So he's a 98 overall already. LeBron James was 18 years old when he came to the NBA, so he was not polished LeBron until season 2 when LeBron took the huge leap from averaging about 20 points per game, which ironically is what he's averaging right now in this. It's only been a few games, but he's averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals right now in this version of me recreating, and he went to Denver. Like, I'm going to explain all of this to you guys today. You're going to get an education today. Tim Duncan was almost 22 years old when he got drafted. He spent 4 years at Wake Forest. He was already Tim Duncan when he came into the league. He made an all-star team his first season, something that LeBron James did not do. You know what I'm saying? So he was polished when he came into the NBA, but LeBron was 18. Shaquille O'Neal was pretty much Shaq when he came into the league. He was 21, 22 years old when he came into the league. So Shaq was already Shaq by the time he got into the NBA. He was 20 and 12, Shaq. These guys are going to get progressively better, like I said throughout. Magic Johnson was only 19 when he came into the NBA. But Magic Johnson's the only rookie to ever win Finals MVP. So therefore, Magic right now is averaging 16 and 12 in 2003. Like, if he's almost averaging a triple-double. Like, this is what Magic would be. He's not shooting the ball great, but Magic was never a great shooter, but he's a facilitator. And his team is trash right now. He's in Portland. Kobe Bryant was 17 years old when he got drafted. 17, 18-year-old kid when he was in the NBA at first. Kobe had a rough start. He didn't get the playing time that a lot of his peers were getting. In this version of it, he's going to get playing time. And he's actually playing with Wilt. So Kobe has the most... LeBron also came straight out of high school. We already said that. I already said he came straight out of high school. Trust me, I'm going to cover all the bases. Like, there's nothing that you're going to tell me that I don't know and that I haven't already put into this. I have... This is something... I put a lot of work into this, and I'm going to do this all the way through for about 15 to 16 seasons. And I'm going to take guys out of the NBA when they're supposed to be out of the NBA. Like, LeBron will play 20 years. We'll see what he does in 21, 22 years. Kareem's going to play 21, 22 years. Michael Jordan's going to play his 15 years, and I'm taking him out. Larry Bird only played 10 years in the NBA, and I'm taking him out. Bill Russell Only played like 10 years in the NBA, 10, 11 years, and then I'm taking him out. So he came into the league when he was 22, 23 years old. Another one, Bill Russell. So when we have Kobe Bryant, 17-year-old kid basically, he's only averaging 12.7 right now, but that's better than his rookie season in actual real life because he didn't get playing time because he was playing behind Eddie Jones. Now he's not playing behind anybody, he's starting, but he's also playing with Wilt Chamberlain. So they got drafted together. So Kobe is with Wilt, just like when Kobe got drafted, he was with Shaq. So that is a crazy contrast. I did not make that happen. That happened on its own, organically. The Miami Heat ended up drafting Wilt, and then they ended up drafting Kobe. The person who went first in this entire draft was Larry Bird, another LB. Larry Bird was the person that went first in the draft. Not Michael Jordan, not LeBron James, not Kobe Bryant, not Kareem, not Wilt. Larry Bird went first in the draft. But you have to remember when Larry Bird was drafted, he was 23. He was 22 years old. Then he sat out for a year. Larry Bird didn't play in the NBA until he was 23. So he was already a man. He was a grown man playing in the NBA. First day. It wasn't like Magic Johnson, where Magic Johnson was 19 and Larry Bird was 23. Larry Bird was 23 years old, man. Imagine LeBron James being 18 and Dwayne Wade coming in at 23. That's basically what that's like. So we got them all on different teams for the most part, except for Kobe and Wilt Chamberlain. Let me make sure that I'm on every team. This will be basically Legends League style, y'all. So if y'all ever watch Legends League, if y'all ever seen Legends League, if y'all ever seen it, y'all ever understood it, y'all ever seen this played, it is an exact replica of what basketball is like in that time period. Like, I'm able to get the time periods correct and make sure that, damn, it didn't save. There we go. Get the time periods correct so that the game plays pretty much how it would at that time period. So right now we got the Utah Jazz going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is how I'm going to do it. Since you guys are watching right now, I'm going to play the first quarter until both of the players are off the court, and then we're going to go fast forward to the fourth quarter, and if it's close enough, we'll play the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter so we can get to a bunch of games so you guys can see what happens and what transpires in the annals of what we're doing right now. So Kobe Bryant and them are doing their thing. They're about to play the Kings. We're not going to watch the Kings Heat because F that. That has no implications. But here we go right here. We got Larry Bird going up against Bill Russell. Now, some of these names that y'all are not going to know some of these names out here. Like Milt Palacio. My boy Milt Palacio was the friggin' point guard in Cleveland here. Ricky Davis, y'all probably know Ricky Davis, some of y'all. Larry Bird, who got drafted here, was the number 1 pick overall. And we got my boy Tyrone Hill, probably the ugliest NBA player ever to grace the floor. Boy, like a burn victim. He looked crazy as shit, boy. He looks wild on wild on wild on wild. And guys, Adrunas Ilgaskis on the other side for the center. You know, Big Z was over there with LeBron. We got John Stockton in probably his last year. We got Karl Malone not even starting for this team on the bench. We got Marquise Daniels, AK-47, Jermaine O'Neal, who was a superstar at this time period. Trust me, Jermaine O'Neal's a bad boy, with Bill Russell. So this Utah team is pretty damn good. Not bad. Let's take it to the court and see what goes on. I've never seen Legends League. It is an exact replica of how this time period was played. This time period didn't have a billion threes being shot for the most part. They did shoot them, but it wasn't like, at the point where it's at now. We played in broadcast for the most part. So we're going to play the first until they're out. We are... I don't know how you say that. Conflict of interest. Damn, what Tyron do? What you mean what Tyron do? This ain't Tyron.
Yeah,
There we go. Easy buckets on both sides. A lot of inside play, a lot of mid-ranges. John Stockton is averaging second most. They couldn't shoot him, to be honest. No, they definitely could shoot him. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you. They definitely could shoot him. But when you don't have the freedom of motion, that they have in the NBA today, remember, players were able to hand check you all across the field, all across the court. You could put two hands on people back in the days. Imagine trying to shoot a three-pointer with two hands on your chest. Like, that was legal. That's what people don't understand, talking about they couldn't shoot him. It was way harder for you to shoot a three-pointer back then because they actually could put hands on you. It's a lot different. It's a lot different now to where, you know, you can't touch a point guard. A point guard can dribble and do what they want to do and get creative on the outside, and you can't even jump in somebody's airspace anymore. That is a foul. Jumping in their airspace is a foul. So it's a lot easier to get a three-pointer off nowadays. You can't get the three-pointers. I'm not getting to nostalgia. They could barely handle and use their left to finish layups. Bruh, like, I'm about to stop talking to you, bruh. You're showing you are showing your super lack of knowledge of NBA basketball throughout the years by saying something stupid like that. They weren't even guarding at the three-point line because no one could shoot. That's not true. Not true. Bro, I'm about to stop talking to you, bro. I'm about to stop talking to Holmes. Like, he just showing his lack of know-how for basketball, brother. It was single coverage because you couldn't play zone, but people did play zone. Once again, showing your lack of not. How old are you, bro? Hey, how old are you? And don't lie and say you 40 years old. Like, how old are you, man? And how old are you, bro?
You know, guys, I think he's got confidence to shoot it from anywhere.
If you don't think that the Los Angeles Lakers was playing zone defense back in the 80s, if you don't think that the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks and teams like that weren't playing zone defense back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really don't know what to tell you. I'm not getting upset because we disagree. I'm getting upset because you're just completely blatantly ignoring what basketball was. Like, how old are you? No one ever guarded Steve Kerr and Reggie Miller? They definitely did. They definitely guarded him. Reggie was getting chased all over the court. And teams were definitely playing zone defense in order to try to keep Reggie Miller off of those screens. Steve Kerr and Reggie Miller, exceptions don't make the rule, my guy. Exceptions don't make the rule. There was a lot of exceptions then. If you don't think they were guarding Rex Chapman, Mitch Richmond, if you don't think they were guarding guys like Dana Barros at the three-point line, if they weren't guarding Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf at the three-point line, if they weren't guarding John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek at the three-point line, Byron Russell at the three-point line, they were all on the same team, matter of fact, so you definitely had to guard the three-point line when you were playing against the Utah Jazz. Most of the times, like, two people could shoot well at best. There was definitely more than two people that could shoot well at best, but they weren't given the green light like guys today to just hurl three-pointers at the rim at 50 to 60 times a game. It just wasn't part of the game at that point. The part of the game was play inside out back in the days. That's why you've seen some of the basketball that you've seen. But if you think that Andre Kirilenko couldn't shoot, if you think all of these guys, Peja Stojakovic couldn't shoot, Mike Bibby couldn't shoot, Doug Christie couldn't shoot, if you don't think any of those guys couldn't shoot the three-pointer, then I don't know what to tell you. Hedo Turkoglu, I don't think that you know that Hedo Turkoglu was out there hurling threes. Tracy McGrady at 6'9" was shooting threes. Nowadays, to even get on the court, you need to be a triple threat in multiple ways. Well, nowadays, to get on the court, you have to be able to stretch the floor and shoot the three-pointer because of the way that the game is. The game now is stretched out to the three-point line because of the freedom of movement. The freedom of movement made it more accessible for you to have little guards out there being very, very effective. Little guards couldn't be very effective in the old NBA because of the fact you're naming some of the greats. I'm naming some of the greats that were playing at the same time period. That's what you're not getting. They were playing at the same time period. Dale Ellis was out there. We're talking about the average player. Well, the average player was playing about the same amount of time that the average player is playing about today. They're getting 10 to 12 minutes a game. So that means that the real players out there were playing 35 to 36 minutes a game. So they were out there stretching the floor. They were able to shoot the basketball. You go back and you look at the Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton was a decent shooter. Detlef Schrempf could shoot the ball. Hersey Hawkins could really, really shoot the ball. They didn't allow Shawn Kemp to stretch his game to the three-point line because Shawn Kemp was so effective in the mid-range and getting to the basket. So therefore, he wasn't allowed to do it. And sometimes during that time period, they had Sam Perkins on that team. And Sam Perkins was notable as the first real stretch big in the NBA. And he played for the Lakers with Magic Johnson. So that's why Magic Johnson was able to get to the basket the way that he got to the basket, because Sam Perkins was stretching the floor. Sam Perkins was a stretch big in the 80s. So therefore, like, I don't understand what this talk is about people that couldn't shoot the basketball. It's just that it wasn't part of the game because it was inside out. It was inside out for so long. Yeah, about the Sonic squad. Yeah, the Sonics were out there. And then you look at any team that Don Nelson coached. Don Nelson was coaching teams. He coached Run TMC. He's coached Run TMC. Run TMC was out there running up the score, crazy shooting threes. Like, that's what they did. They had Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, and Mitch Richmond at the same time on that team. They were out there hurling the midgets. And you know Don Nelson is the father of modern basketball right now. Don Nelson is the reason why we play basketball in the way that we play basketball, because of the fact that Don Nelson was trying to get teams to shoot 50 and 63 pointers back in the early 90s. But they said that the style was crazy and it would never work. So then Don Nelson, in order to prove that his style was going to work, there was a coach that came from Italy, I believe. His name is Mike D'Antoni. And Mike D'Antoni went to go coach the Phoenix Suns. And as a gift, Mike D'Antoni was given Steve Nash because Don Nelson knew that they wasn't going to be able to play the style that he wanted to play in Dallas with Steve Nash and Dirk, having Steve Nash stretch the floor and be able to shoot with the 7 seconds or less offense. So he ended up giving Steve Nash to Mike D'Antoni. And once Mike D'Antoni got his hands on Steve Nash led the #1 offense in the NBA for 7 straight seasons. That's never been done before, and it's never been done since Steve Nash. So therefore, Steve Nash is the reason why basketball is played this way, because all that pace and space and 7 seconds or less and doing what everybody's doing, Steve Nash was doing that back in the early 2000s with the Suns team that was leading the whole NBA in offense every single year. But that was because Don Nelson wanted to see that happen. Don Nelson wanted basketball to go this way because he was trying to do it with the Dallas Mavericks back in the early 90s. And who inducted Steve Nash into the Hall of Fame? None other than Don Nelson, who he credits for the success of his career. That's why he won MVP, yes, because he was leading the #1 offense in the league for 7 straight seasons. That's why he won back-to-back MVPs, because that mess had never been done. Magic Johnson had never done it. Isaiah Thomas didn't do it. All these guys had never done that. Mike did the same with Harden and the Rockets. Exactly, he did the same thing with Harden and the Rockets. Mike D'Antoni is probably one of the greatest offensive minds in the history of basketball. He just doesn't get credit because he didn't win. He didn't win anything with that style. Like, if Mike D'Antoni would have had Steph Curry, he'd have won 5 championships. But he just didn't have the player in order to run the offense that he wanted to run. If he would have had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, he'd have won some championships. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Making it harder to score in the mid-range and paint, but MJ and others still dominated. I think that, like, if those guys played today right now, Michael Jordan and guys of that, and even Kobe Bryant, if he played right now, they'd be completely unstoppable because the whole paint is open. When they played, the paint was clogged up. And they were still getting in there scoring. Like, Michael Jordan shot 50% from the field in a league where the paint was clogged up and he was going there. So it just was crazy. And then you get to the era where guys are. You get to that era where they had David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and they were just choking everything to the baseline. They were making everybody go baseline into the help, and that's why you saw such low scores, because people have figured out, you know, guys are trying to play inside out. We're gonna just stack the paint with big guys, and that's what happened. But then after that, that's when the NBA changed the rules. When LeBron got into the league about 2004, 2005, they started enforcing the no hand check thing. And that's when we get guys who are able to get into the paint and do the things, all the lovely creative things that you're seeing right now. And he would get gapped off. I don't think Michael Jordan would get gapped off. I don't think any of these guys would get gapped off. I mean, you're sitting here thinking you're sitting here looking at guys who came into the NBA and started their careers in the NBA, and they couldn't shoot a lick, but now they can actually shoot a little bit. You don't think Michael Jordan would have adapted to the style of basketball that is being played right now? I think that you're absolutely freaking crazy. When you got guys that came into the NBA that could not shoot at all, and now they're out there able to shoot threes, and they're giving them the green light to shoot threes, and you're crazy if you really think that people be gapping off people. And Michael Jordan had one of the fastest first steps and quickest first steps in NBA history. So it would have to be a hell of a gap to stop him from getting to the paint when there's nobody down there in the paint at all because of the defensive 3 seconds rule, which they did not have back in the day. A center could camp in the paint all game long if they wanted to back in the Jordan era. Michael Jordan took 30 shots a game and 12 free throws to average. That doesn't seem like anything less than what SGA averages more free throws than Michael Jordan did. James Harden averaged more free throws than Michael Jordan did. Believe Tracy McGrady averaged more free throws than Michael Jordan did. The only reason LeBron doesn't average more free throws than Michael Jordan did because Michael Jordan is because LeBron James doesn't really want to go to the free throw line. He's not a great free throw shooter, but he would average more free throws than Michael Jordan had he went. Like, Michael Jordan definitely would get the free throw. He would get more free throws in today's game, the way that they officiate the game. So I don't understand. His first step was ridiculous. Yeah, Michael Jordan's first step was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. SGA is not taking 30 shots a game. He might as well be taking 30 shots a game, but some of those are called fouls, so he's going to the free throw line. So if he takes 14 free throws, then that's 7 field goal attempts that they're taking away from him because they don't count as field goal attempts if he does not make them. So you have to look at it that way. He's been to the line some 20 times in some games. So that's 10 field goal attempts. You have to understand that as well. None of them are gunning shots like that. None of them have to gun shots like that. I mean, when you got a guy like Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson was just like, I'm going to surround Michael Jordan with defense and one of the greatest rebounds of all time for a second three-peat. And Mike can just score. Mike can do the scoring himself. There's not too many people in the NBA at this day and age can go ahead and take the shots themselves. Nobody. LeBron definitely playing better than Jordan at 40. I agree with that, but you have to remember Jordan retired. Jordan retired and was gone for 3 years. 03 is the same year Jordan retired. Yes, Jordan is out of the NBA. Imagine if KD took 27 shots a game like MJ. What you think he would average? I don't think KD can get 27 shots off in a game. I don't think people understand how hard it is to get shots off in an NBA game. If you never played, I played high level college basketball, so I know how hard it is to get a shot off in a game. It's not easy. So for somebody to get 28, that's how I knew Michael Jordan was going to be okay. That's why I knew Michael Jordan was going to be okay when he came back from his first retirement. I knew he was going to be okay because in his second game, I believe he got 27 shots up or 28 shots up. You know how hard it is to get a shot up in an NBA game? It's not easy. Not easy. So being able to just get that level of that level of shots off in an NBA game is so hard because the energy you have to expel and to get open enough to take a shot in NBA is very, very hard. So I don't think KD can get 27 shots off a game. Most people look at Michael Jordan taking 28 shots or 29 shots or whatever, how many shots he took, as a bad thing. I think that's one of the greatest things about his game because it is hard to get 28 shots. It's hard to get 20 shots in an NBA game. It's not easy. You know how Curry took 23 just the other game? Jordan will definitely be taking his shots. Exactly, Jordan's definitely going to get his shots up. I mean, it's hard to get shots up in an NBA game. MJ was not even close to KD efficiency all around. Imagine. It's not about being close to his efficiency all around, but it's looking at it from this standpoint. Michael Jordan was always doubled and triple teamed. KD has been on teams where he has taken that aspect away from him. He's always played with star players. KD has never played on the team by himself except for that Brooklyn team where guys were injured. If we're being honest, like Michael Jordan's always the main attraction. Michael Jordan's always getting double teamed. He's always getting triple teamed. He's always got eyes on him. Scottie Pippen only averaged 17 points per game, 16 points per game, or something like that. So Michael Jordan is the main focus. When KD is doing all this damage that you're assuming that he's doing, he's playing with Curry. He's playing with Clay. He's playing with Harden. He's playing with Kyrie. He's playing with Booker. He's playing with Beal. He's playing with stars that he doesn't have to maximize that. He doesn't have to sit there and be worried about somebody double teaming him most of the time. MJ shot 19% from 3 at 40. 3 buddy at 40. That's okay. He's at 40. He's retired. He's came back He came back from 3 years of retirement. You act like the man was retired for. He retired in 1998. And he came back in 2001. He got retired for 3 years. You're acting like this man was coming back to win championships. Michael Jordan, when he was Michael Jordan, was the best player that I've ever seen. By far. Period. All right. Period. LeBron James hasn't taken any breaks. LeBron James has been in the league for the entire time. I give him credit for the longevity and the love of the game to play that long and all of that. I give him credit for all of that. But when Jordan was Jordan, people disrespect KD so much. He's playing with Andre Robertson and them OKC boys in the early days of OKC. Okay, but he still had Russell Westbrook at that time. He still had James Harden. He still had Serge Ibaka. I don't know if you come on, bro. Like KD has never been on a team for a long period of time where he didn't have superstars on his team with him. Never. Name a time, except for that Brooklyn time, which is more wear and tear. I mean, you could say it's more wear and tear, but it's not really more wear and tear the way that these guys get treatment now. I don't think that you've ever been into a college locker room and see the treatment that goes on immediately after these guys get off. I remember as soon as I got off the court, I was getting treatment right away. Back in the 80s and 90s, they weren't getting treatment right away. They weren't flying on the best private jet. They weren't going to the best hotel where they got treatment in the hotel, where they got people on them 24/7, basically to get them ready to play basketball. It's a lot different. So, whereas you think it's wear and tear and all that, yeah, I guess it's wear and tear, but like you get mad treatment. Like they start treating you the minute you get off the court. They start icing you up. They get you in the cryo chamber. Like we had a cryo chamber. We wasn't even top like that. We had a cryo chamber. LeBron has played like 4 seasons worth of playoffs too, and he started at 18. It's not comparable. I believe it's not comparable to longevity of it, but it's also not comparable to win 10 straight scoring titles. It's not comparable to win 6 championships and not lose any. It's not comparable to three-peat twice. That's not comparable. Those things are not comparable. It's not comparable to be the only player in NBA history to outscore your teammates and win a finals game. And he did that in his last finals game. Whereas when people are calling LeBron James and all these people old and everything, like Michael Jordan was beating old teams. Michael Jordan and that whole team that he won his last championship was older than all those teams that everybody's talking about that they were old when he beat them. So it's like people got double standards. People got double standards when it comes to a lot of things in basketball. But there's certain things that you just can't fake. It's not hard to win scoring titles when you're taking most of the shots. Tell it to a lot of the players who have not won scoring titles but have taken the most shots in the NBA, namely Kobe Bryant. How many scoring titles does Kobe Bryant have? And he was taking the most shots in the NBA by far, every year. How many scoring titles does Kobe Bryant have? How many scoring titles does Dominique Wilkins have? How many scoring titles does Tracy McGrady? How many scoring titles does Allen Iverson have? And he was taking the most shots. He's got a few, but he don't got 10 in a row. Like, we found our resident Jordan hater in here. We found our resident Jordan hater. And winning finals when your favorite isn't a flex. Yes, it is. Winning the finals when you're a favorite is definitely a flex, because tell that to all. It's hard to win when people say you're gonna win. It's hard to win when people say you're gonna win. That's rarely done. Like, look at what just happened to the Chiefs. Everybody thought the Chiefs were gonna win. Everybody thought the Chiefs were gonna get cheated for and win. They got blown out. LeBron has lost as the favorite. Like, come on, man. What the Celtics did last year is very, very hard to do, winning as the favorite. It's not easy. Go check. You seen MJ play in person before? No, I never had the pleasure of seeing MJ play in person. Mike actively chased scoring titles. He took like 40 shots a game. He didn't take 40 shots a game. But, no. Didn't take 40 shots a game. Not even close to that. I only talk about facts, and that's not a fact. LeBron and everyone else actually had to be useful outside scoring. What? Like, I'm not even listening to that. People got a lot of double standards for an era they never saw. Exactly. He still hasn't said how old he is. Like, I don't even know how old he is. He's just talking crazy. They didn't get the luxury of MJ to have a juggernaut team where all he had to do was shoot. I don't want to hear that either. Mike, LeBron James had juggernaut teams this whole time playing damn near. Stop all that. It's really not when you're on a 72-10 win team and not playing against champions. The 73-9 Warriors did not win the championship, so that's not a gimme. That's a stupid argument. Once again, try again. I would say it's more impressive because they got more pressure on them. Thank you. It's way more pressure on you when you think when everybody is expecting you to win. It's way more pressure on you to win, and I don't understand why people don't understand that. Like, it's hard to do what people say you're gonna do. MJ had better defender, rebounder, playmaker on his team. He didn't have better scorers. My boy LeBron had help offensively, a lot of help offensively. Kyrie Irving scored 40 in a finals game, averaged like 26, 27 in a final series. Michael Jordan never had that. So, whereas you could talk about things, same thing could be said on the other side. He never had an offensive weapon like Kyrie Irving or Dwayne Wade or Anthony Davis. Michael Jordan never had that. Never. Around those juggernaut teams couldn't win anything without LeBron, and neither did the Bulls. They didn't win anything without Michael Jordan. Nothing. They didn't win no championships. They didn't get out the second round without Michael Jordan. Stop that. They were the defending champions. Who was the defending champions? Who? I don't even know what you're talking about. Same with the Chiefs, and guess what both teams have in common? They lost, exactly. They lost. Back then, he didn't need scores. The scores were 85-80. It's opinion. LeBron literally is the only player to lead both teams in all categories in the NBA Finals, and he's done it like 5 times, my guy. And he's lost like 6 times, my guy. So, like, what is that really doing for him? He's lost like 6 times. 6. Should the Bulls at least won some playoff series? Yeah, they won one playoff series without Michael Jordan in that span. In that span of winning championship, one playoff series. What Mike do without them? Played well, but it's only 2 years. You can go look at the series if you like. You can't put that on Michael Jordan. You can't put that on Michael Jordan. Same thing you're saying about LeBron James leading everybody in every stat category and all that stuff. Same shit. Because he's worse. Because he's on the worst side. Yeah, okay. LeBron James did his thing, though. You can't say nothing about LeBron not doing his thing in the finals. Except for that one where he melted down completely. Definitely had the better team, was the favorite. Tatum just did that last finals. Exactly. He led in everything, almost. Yeah, you leading stats. Cool. It's about winning, brother. Tatum led him in damn near all the stats and didn't even get the finals MVP. LeBron's fault he drags teams that have no business in the finals to the finals. That's crazy. If you're good enough to get to the finals, should be good enough to win it. Imagine 23-year-old LeBron gets penalized for going to. Nobody penalizes him for playing the Spurs the first time. We penalize him for the second time playing the Spurs, not the first time. A 23-year-old getting to the finals, nobody's penalizing him for that. Nobody's penalizing LeBron James for anything except the Spurs championship where he dropped the ball, and nobody's penalizing him except for the Dallas Mavericks finals where he got outscored by bench players in the finals. He got outscored by a bench player, Jason Terry, in the finals. That is absolutely bonkers for a star of that magnitude to get outscored and outplayed by a boy that comes off the bench. It's crazy. You're shouting 6 losses? Yeah, because he does have 6 losses. But I don't hold all 6 against him. Only hold 2 against him. 2 that he should have won. I think you're arguing with someone who never made an organized squad. I think so, but, it's okay. He loses to the 73-9 Warriors who added KD. Yeah. Okay, I don't hold that against him. Brown has dominated in multiple eras of basketball, adjusting to the changes in pace, spacing, play style. Jordan played in one system, triangle offense with Hall of Fame coach Phil Jackson. Brown has won championships with 3 different teams, proving his ability to lead in any situation. I give you all of that, but LeBron has also played in one system, the LeBron system. It's not like the system ever changed. LeBron is the system, just like Jordan was the system to the triangle offense when he was there. So it's not like LeBron's played in multiple systems. He hasn't. He played in the same system where he has the ball and he's making the decisions. He has not had to change and do anything, and nor should he have to change. Like LeBron James was getting to the finals and doing his thing in his system. But don't get it twisted like he went to anybody's team and just started playing a different system. He's never played in a different system. Never. In 2018, he drags the Cavs team to the finals with basically no help and loses to the KD Warriors. I'm agreeing with you there, bro. He dragged that team to the finals and got beat by KD's Warriors, and nobody is penalizing him for that. I think, me personally, it's impressive that he's been to 10. I think it's impressive that he's been to 10. I think it's very impressive he's been to 10. A lot of players can't make it to the finals. I agree. Jordan made it 6 times and won all 6 times. And got all 6 finals MVPs. And played great in all of them. Wade, Kyrie, AD, K-Love, Bosh, Shaq, Ben Wallace, Ray Allen, Luka, Russell Westbrook, Big Z, J.R. Smith, Dwight Howard, Rondo, Melo, Boozer, Mo Williams. I mean, some of those, don't belong in there. Jason Terry was a bucket, though, bench or not. Same as Jamal Crawford. But, yeah, I don't care if he's a bucket or not, bro. He's not supposed to get outplayed and outscored by a bench player. It's not supposed to happen. Sid, what is your honest assessment of Tim Duncan? I think Tim Duncan is the best power forward ever because he played power forward. People want to put him at the center. But, Tim Duncan just did it his own way. But Tim Duncan also had great players. Tim Duncan also played in the same system all the time. Tim Duncan was lucky in order to be in the situation that he was in. But as far as being dominant on offense and defense, there was no better. There was nobody better at that position. LeBron is so hated that he makes people believe losing in round 1 is better than losing. Nobody's saying losing in round 1 is better than losing in the finals. People are saying that winning is what matters. Winning is what matters. Winning the big one. You're not in it to get out the first round. Like, there's been times when I've got out the first round. I got all the way to the state semifinals in high school, all the way to the state semifinals. Do you think we get a cookie for that? No, we don't get a cookie for that because we didn't win. We didn't win. And you know what? I feel like we didn't win. Even though we went to the state semis. For the first time, my school had never been upstate in 20 years at that point in time period. But we didn't win. We didn't get a cookie for going upstate. You want to win. We playing tonight? Nah. It's Valentine's Day, fool. How do you get to the finals with no help? That doesn't make sense. It's happened a few times. Allen Iverson supposedly got there with no help. LeBron supposedly got there with no help. But those teams both had the same thing. Both those teams had the same thing in common. The team that LeBron took and the team that Allen Iverson took, where they said they both had no help. Eric Snow was the point guard on both of those teams, and Eric Snow is one of the greatest defensive point guards that I've seen in that era. Like, he takes the head off the snake. He really, really guards point guards and pressures them and puts them in bad situations. So, to me, Eric Snow should be getting a little bit more credit than, what he deserves, than what he has been getting, because he definitely was one of those players that got them to a point where Allen Iverson had a great defense. He did have a great defense, but you acting like Eric Snow wasn't playing defense on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Stop it, bro. He was taking the head off the snake of all those teams. Give Eric Snow some credit. Eric Snow was out there doing his thing on defense at the point guard position, which is a very, very important position in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s because you can be physical. Spurs had great squads for years. They did. Never had a really bad squad after Duncan was drafted. So who you think had more comp in the playoffs and the finals? It's not about comp. It's not about who you beat. It's, dude, you win. Because there's plenty of times where there's teams that you think had no comp in the playoffs and they ended up winning the NBA championship. Or ended up losing the NBA championship. It's about winning. KG is better than Duncan? I don't think so. I think KG had the potential to be better than Duncan, but once again, winning is important. KG never had the teams until he got to Boston to really win. And they should have won more than one. I think they should have beat Kobe and them that second year. They should have beat him. Kobe had a broken finger, and they couldn't beat a broken finger Kobe Bryant. It's the Spurs, Tim Duncan beat Kobe Bryant a bunch of times, a healthy Kobe Bryant. It is about who you beat, not to me. It's about winning. History remembers champions. They don't care who you beat. At the end of the day, history remembers champions. Not about who you beat, not to me. Winning is winning. They be acting like Bron and AI teams wasn't NBA players also. I'm not saying they were NBA players, but they had Eric Snow. Eric Snow was definitely a big portion of what they were doing. New Gen feels like if you didn't average 20, you weren't good. Well, you have to understand, it wasn't that many points to go around back in the 80s and 90s. Well, early 80s there was. Early 80s was looking like now. Like early 80s there was a lot of points to go around. Like Denver Nuggets were scoring like $120 back in the 80s. That's why no one is sold on the Celtics, because they beat a bunch of injured teams, missing their best players. They won. Doesn't matter if they're sold on them or not. They won. Winning is a team accolade. Your play is different. Winning is a team accolade. Your play is different. But when you win the Finals MVP, it's pretty much about you. So you can say what you like to say about that. Yes, it is a team accolade, but without the Finals MVP, 99% of those teams don't win. So just like you take LeBron off any of those teams that they won, the Finals MVP, they ain't winning. They ain't winning. You take Michael Jordan away from all those teams, they ain't winning. That's evident. You take Shaq off the Lakers, they ain't winning. You understand? Like they ain't winning. You take Shaq off them Lakers teams, they ain't winning. You take Kobe off those second two championships, they ain't winning. No one go back and look at who people beat. They look at who won the chip. Exactly. I bet you in 10 years, you won't even be able to, nobody outside of Philadelphia will be able to tell you they beat the Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row. The only team in NFL history to go to the championship, the Super Bowl, 4 times in a row. You know nobody remembers them? They went 4 times in a row. No team has ever done that. To this day, no team has ever went 4 times in a row. Nobody remembers them. They only remember who won the championships. They don't remember who got there 4 times in a row. I remember them since I'm a Cowboys fan. Yeah, because you're a Cowboys fan. Cowboys beat them. So why isn't Bill Russell held in higher regard? Bill Russell isn't held in higher regard for 2 reasons. Because there was only 10 to 12 teams in the NBA at the time when they were winning 11 championships or 13 championships. So how many championships? I think they had 11 championships in 13 years. That's one of the reasons why he's not held in high regard, because of the fact that there were 12 teams in the league. And he had 10 Hall of Famers on his team because, once again, there's only 12 teams in the league. I think that's the only reason that he's not held in such high regard, because in the modern era we had 30 teams. You know, the travel was way more extensive. 82 games were still played back then, but 82 games is easier to play when you got 12 teams. You know, you only going to 11 different cities. You're not going all over the country. You know, it's a little different. A little different. Do I think Bill Russell's a great player? Of course I think Bill Russell is one of the greatest players of all time. But I think that's the only reason he's not held in higher regard than he is, because the 11 championships came when there was only like 12 teams. And there was only 2 rounds in the playoffs when he was winning those championships, which would mean you're playing the best teams more. Not necessarily, brother. Like, not necessarily. Not necessarily, brother. Not necessarily. I mean, when you got 10 Hall of Famers on your team and no other team has more than 3, more than 2, then you're not playing against the best teams. You are the best team. By far. It's not even close. Red Auerbach needs to get credit for that, being a coach. Vlade Divac deserves more thanks for taking that rookie Kobe trade. Yeah, because he didn't have to take that. South accolade argument is dumb because Rudy has 4 defensive player of the years and Tim Duncan has 0, and we all know who's the better defender. He just played at the wrong. Tim Duncan just played at the wrong time. You have to also put into account that for a lot of Tim Duncan's career, he was being coddled by Pop. He wasn't playing the most minutes that he could possibly play. He wasn't getting the most touches that he could possibly get. He wasn't getting the usage rate that a lot of those other guys were getting because Pop was saving him for the playoffs. Pop was the first person to really load manage a superstar. I don't honor Bill Russell's rings. Only 12 teams and they were rigging the draft. I don't know about all that. I don't know if they were rigging the draft. Will it mean he's playing the better teams more, though? It doesn't, though. Like, the better teams more, they're the only teams in the league. It's a difference. When you get to the playoffs, everybody's playing the best teams. Best 16 teams make the playoffs. Back then, the best 8 teams made the playoffs. There was only 2 rounds. It was only 2 rounds. All you had to do was win, I think, 4 games, and you were the champion back then. Now you have to win 15, 16 games, so you're playing almost half of another season. It's a lot different. Wilt Chamberlain didn't play in that era. No, he played a little bit after, like in between. He did like the Kobe thing, where Kobe was in between the LeBron and Michael Jordan era, like towards the end of Michael Jordan. Wilt was like towards the middle / end of Bill Russell era. Don't get the Rudy hate. Like, I get he has no offensive bag, but he definitely plays D. I don't think it's hate on him. I think it's just that, like, they know that there's so many players in NBA history that they consider to be better than Rudy Gobert, and like, why is he winning all these Defensive Player of the Years? And then you got to take into account that, you know, white boys done took over the NBA front office with the analytics and stuff. Like, the NBA is not based off the same things it was based off back then. It's based off analytics now. Like, they'll take a 3-pointer. Thurman Nate. What about Thurman Nate? Who is he playing with? I think you don't even know these players that you're even talking about. Bill Russell was seeing Wilt Chamberlain and the better teams and players more, so that would make it harder. No, it definitely doesn't make it harder. How many times did he play Wilt in the finals? Wilt's best player was Maurice Cheeks. Like, come on, brother. Like, Wilt's best player was Maurice Cheeks. Wilt's best player, Hal Greer. Like, those are the players that Wilt was playing with. My boy Bill Russell was playing with all the greats. All of them. That's what I'm saying. He don't even know who he's talking about, I don't think. I don't think he knows who he's talking about. He couldn't name a stat, a Nate Thurman stat, without looking it up. That's how I could tell who I'm talking to. I could always tell who I'm talking to. He got to look up everything that he's saying right now. Like, that's what I'm saying. I can tell who I'm talking to. Like, I don't have nothing in front of me right now. I'm just, you know me. I've seen me do this. I'm just telling you what is from all the stuff that I have just stored up in the brain about the NBA, man. That's why it's funny to me when I run into people that just talk about this, that, and the third. I obviously know who Nate is. Yeah, okay. I can't see you going through your Google Maps and in your Google about him. I can't see you going through your Google about him. So I'm not really impressed. Tell me something real. Tell me something real about Nate Thurman. Tell me something real about him that people don't know. Then maybe you know about him. Then maybe you've done your history and your homework on it. To bring up the fact that, oh my goodness, why isn't Bill Russell so regarded? And I tell you why. And then you say, well, he's playing the better teams. No, he's not. Oh, he's not. He is the better team. Like, Bill Russell was the Warriors that you're trying to defend LeBron James against losing to those Warriors. He was the Warriors of that era. And they were the Warriors for a decade. They weren't the Warriors for a couple of minutes. They were the Warriors for a decade. A decade. We got Bill Russell right now with 11 points and 13 rebounds, a block and a steal. We got Larry Bird has 20.7 rebounds and 8 assists with 2 steals. He's having a game. They're down by 5. Y'all just want to disrespect Bill Russell's era. I'm not disrespecting Bill Russell's era at all. I don't disrespect his era at all. I'm just saying the reason why you asked the question why he was not regarded, and I'm telling you why. And you're getting to the point like people are disrespecting it. No, I'm telling you why it's not. General consensus why it's not. By definition, if there's less teams in the league, you would have to play against. Okay, so Michael Jordan played against better teams than LeBron James did then, because there were less teams in the league when Michael Jordan played. Is that the logic that you're using? So Michael Jordan had to play the better teams more often. You know, you had to play teams 6 times back then. 6 people in your division, you had to play 6 times back then because there was less teams. So by your metrics, then Jordan played in a better league than LeBron James did because there were less teams. See how stupid that sounds? I'm just saying, like, you see how stupid that sounds. I think that's just stupid.
He's able to draw fouls more times than not.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Utah.
Like, people want to talk about LeBron getting to the finals all those times when they called the Eastern Conference the Leastern Conference. Like, they did do that. They did call it that. Now, I didn't, but I'm just saying they did. Mike's league was watered down, not the same thing. Oh, it's not the same thing. But so less teams in Bill Russell's era equals better competition, but less teams in Michael Jordan's era doesn't. You see what I'm saying? How people, this is why I don't talk to certain people. Because they say certain things, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Appreciate that, AK, man. I'm just flabbergasted at the way people talk, and then they say certain things, and then you basically say the same thing they're saying, but then they go, nah. Then what is it? Some people just sound stupid. Really, really, really stupid. Nah, I'm done talking to you, bro. Like, after I see like what you're talking about, like, I'm done talking to you. You can say what you want to say now. I'm just gonna skim over everything you say. After that nonsense, after that BS, that's nonsense. So yeah, enjoy your time talking to yourself. But nah, AK, you good though, man. You good. Like, I'm just chilling, like, as you can see.
Here is Stockton.
But we got us a good game. We got a 102 game.
Oh, and there's the alley-oop. It's stolen by Davis. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And here's O'Neal. He'll bring it up for the Utah Jazz. And that one's
Good shot, Marquise Daniel.
Filling it up in a hurry.
Cleveland's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Now here is Hill. Davis setting the pick for Hill. Back to Davis. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Marquise Daniels.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Here's Kirilenko. And the done by Russell.
I tell you what, he is one guy you do not stand in the way of when he decides to attack the basket.
What's good, Silver?
Palacio. He's covered by Stockton. Pass to Bird. Pocket 6. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. A putback. It's good on the putback.
And they need this one, so he really steps up and delivers.
Inside, O'Neal. And the jam by Jermaine O'Neal.
And that's a big bucket for O'Neal. He understands his team looks for him to come up when it matters most.
Now, here is Bird. Shoots the 3. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Larry Bird for 3.
Set up now for Cleveland.
It's been this way.
This is gonna be a good finish, a real good finish.
Beyond the arc.
Well, it's been a 3-point barrage. They came out gunning and have not stopped. Hey, it's just good sound basketball when you got
What's good, LC?
a scorer like O'Neal.
Larry Legend gonna hit a game winner. We gonna see.
Do when he catches
It's going down to the wire right here. They're going to Bird.
Over Kirilenko.
Oh,
They came close there to tying it up.
Yeah, you know, and after the way they fought back into it here in the fourth, that would have been a big bucket for him. Assertive play. He attacks the miss and sends it home.
Timeout, Cavaliers. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what the Cavaliers head coach was saying to his team. He told them to pick up the pace. He said, if we're going to win, we have to seize this
Oh,
moment
Larry
and
again.
fast. He said, go all out or go home. Kevin?
Thank you, David. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possession
another pass from Stockton. He be balling. Jermaine O'Neal be balling.
than that.
Well, that was 1-2. He wanted the ball. Nobody else was taking that shot.
Pass to Bird. Over Kirilenko.
Bird again.
And he is brought
They
down
can't
with
stop
2
him.
points.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the
They
only
can't
way he
stop
gets it
him.
done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And so they foul intentionally.
Stockton dying, bruh.
And he misses the first one.
Stockton
Oh,
tough.
He wanted that one to fall.
He missed a free throw though. That's big time. That doesn't happen normally for Stockton. He normally makes his free throws.
He's able to hit the second
But remember, this is the last year. This is like John Stockton in year 20 something. Not saying he's supposed to miss a free throw because he's in year 20, but
being discussed right now.
you know, this is not peak prime
And if
John
you can
Stockton.
Get a three, shoot it. Otherwise, get the quick 2 and a foul.
Either way, they got to score the ball.
Giving you PTSD playing against cricket.
Bird.
Oh, there it is.
The rebound.
That's it.
Foul intentional
That look like that's gonna be
at
it.
this point.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try to extend the game.
Jermaine O'Neal misses one. Let's see if he can get this one. This is a big one.
For them as the score is
Oh,
right
he missed him. It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet.
Boy, was that painful. That was basically just a choke.
Come on, Milt Palacio.
Could have put this game on ice, but he didn't.
Ricky Davis hits the 3.
Oh, that was an enormous three-pointer.
Let's see what Bill Russell about to do.
So important. What a
Let's see what Bill Russell about to do.
that dependent.
The Jazz call timeout.
Yeah, I definitely hit 2 legends in a row. Oh my God, he stole it.
And here's Davis for 3.
Mm. He had Bird on the other side. We got an overtime game.
Regulation now complete.
Seeing Larry Bird hoop like that giving me PSD. Ricky Davis tied the game is crazy.
4 quarters, and now we head to overtime. Should be a blast.
We got an OT game. First game, we got a real good one.
On the wing, Daniels. He's guarded by Davis. And that one's good. Daniels.
And he can take over in a nanosecond. I mean, once he catches fire, it's difficult to squelch it.
Pass to Davis to take the lead. And Jermaine O'Neal pulls it down. O'Neal's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. The putback.
And those second chance points really become
Yeah, Milt Palacio's out there.
when you can get them.
The Cavaliers trail by 4.
Actually, it was fire doing that 299s. I did it fast too. After I figured out the formula, the second one was, I think the second one was way easier than the first. Oh, good D Stockton.
It's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain.
It stays with the Cavs though. It stays with the Cavs. This is gonna be a good finish. Hopefully. Watch Larry. Larry will shoot that hoe.
On the clock. Here's Bird.
Oh, good defense.
O'Neal. O'Neal's got double-digit rebounds now in the
Bill Russell again.
He hits it and gets
Bill
it
Russell is
off the
taking
board.
over this game
Possibility
completely.
with the free throw.
You gotta love
He's
his
got 18 points and 18 rebounds. That looks like a Bill Russell line.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
Now here is Hill.
Yeah, and as you see, as we get into the year 2000, 299s at 18, 19, and 19.
Good on the way in.
But as you see, as we get up into the years, like when we get to the 2010s and they start taking more 3-pointers, I'll adjust to that happening. You'll see guys taking more 3-pointers.
Drives to the hoop. Here's O'Neal. And the layup's good off the glass. O'Neal's got 30.
6'11", skilled, athletic. When Jermaine O'Neal puts it all together, we are going to see some monster games.
Bird outside. Palacio. He's covered by Stockton.
Milt,
He drains it as
Milt gets a bucket.
down.
Heads up play right there to beat the shot clock.
Jazz leading by 5. And he lobs it up.
I'm definitely gonna see AK, man. Oh my God, Jermaine, I'm definitely gonna see though AK. Like I'm in these tournaments and things, man. So we're gonna find out just how good
Hey, defense defense is taking a back.
Just how good we can be.
Secondary on the marquee, but who doesn't love a game like this?
Damn, Bird getting locked up by Karolinko. Remember, also, this is rookie Bird. All these guys are rookies. He is killing. Larry Selling and Jermaine O'Neal is balling. He is balling. I can't wait to see what Larry turns into about 7 years down the line when they start letting guys take three-pointers at the rate that they take them now. Like, because, you know, this we're 7 years away from that. We only in 2003. We 7 years away from when they start. Look, Holmes, Jermaine O'Neal is using and abusing this man. They still got a shot, outside chance at it. Good pass. They still got an outside shot at it.
Yes, sir. Throw that rock down.
Utah leading by 5. Stockton the pass to O'Neal, and the jam by Jermaine O'Neal.
What a nasty finish that was.
I'm going after it this year, man. I'm going after it. I feel like we got a really good chance to make some noise. Just got to get Gat up to speed with certain things that he needs to be up to speed with. Like, just moving off the ball in general, man. I've already taught him the basics, but now it's time for him to really evolve off of that and get into a place where he's not so much listening to everything as I'm saying as much as reacting. Like,
you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has.
Didn't realize they changed the UI to look like the old 2Ks. Yeah, it looks just like the old 2Ks. That's why you got the scoreboard and stuff like that. Everything, man, all that stuff is a nice touch. It's a nice touch to how they did the mode.
Here's Bird.
Let's go, Bird.
Bird's got 34. Here is Daniels.
I am not home until the 19th.
And here's Stockton. Outside Russell. From outside the arc. And there's Stockton.
Oh, Stockton, that's the dagger. Yeah, it's nice if he really stick with it. Y'all gonna be really killing. Yeah, he's got it.
Bird outside.
Bird missed it. Bird just sold the last half of that whole OT he sold up. It was a great game by John Stockton. Johnny Stock played great. Jermaine O'Neal definitely played great. What's the matter? John Stockton definitely played great. Old John Stockton too. This ain't even young.
They were able to regroup in that overtime, and this win has to feel satisfying.
And that about wraps
What you talking about, AK? 36, 11, and 2 for Jermaine O'Neal. Matt Harpring had 20 points. You had 18 points and 20 rebounds for Bill Russell. That's crazy. That's what he did when he was playing, though. You got 13 and 12 for John Stockton with 4 turnovers. Rayford Alston had 9 points and 6 assists off the bench. On the other side, we had Ricky Davis with 35. Larry Bird had 34.7 rebounds and 10 assists. He was 14 to 29 from the field. You can't play any better than that. He just lost the game. Larry Bird put together another nice performance in his rookie season. I don't know who's going to win the Rookie of the Year in this, but we will definitely find out. It looks like the next game is going to be Magic Johnson and them boys. Magic Johnson and them boys versus LeBron James. So we get to see one LeBron Raymond James get it in. We got Magic Johnson out there with Derek Anderson, Bonzi Wells, Lamar Odom, and Zach Randolph. And we got Kenny Anderson out there with Ron Artest, LeBron James, Juwan Howard, and Marcus Camby. This should be a pretty decent game. Remember, we play the first quarter until like LeBron and them go out, and then we'll play the last 5 minutes. But Magic Johnson has been putting up crazy numbers. Let's see if he can keep that up. How'd you make these teams? And the game makes the teams for you, but I put the draft class in, and I tweaked the game so that it plays right. I haven't seen Mari in here in a while. Mari be working a lot, bro. Mari works a fucking lot, a whole lot now. Derek Anderson, Magic with the first assist of the game. Mari's been working a whole lot though, man. Magic about to eat. I should have came out there and played with Mari. That's what I should have did. Like, I forgot. Like I wasn't even thinking. Like he's been working a lot. Next time he asks me to play, I'm just gonna go out there and hoop. I wasn't even thinking like my G is not really playing the game like that. Because he usually is. Look how little Kenny is. Yeah, Kenny Anderson was little, man. Kenny is a real little point guard, but New York City all the way through. Shout out to Kenny Anderson, man. Kenny Anderson, one of the great New York City point guards, man. Bonzi, get it to Magic. Magic. Kyrie just had 40 last night and is reported to not play tonight due to injury, along with 8 other Dallas players. Yes, bad. It's like they traded Luka and got cursed. How that make me feel? Don't make me feel no kind of way. LeBron for 3. Good pass by LeBron, but Kenny Anderson can't shoot that. Not a shooter. Ron Artest at this point in his career, not a shooter, but turned into a pretty decent three-point shooter as time went on. Once again, one of those players that I'm saying did not shoot when he got into the NBA, but as time went on, he developed the three-point shot because that's what people were telling him to do. I'm mad I gave his ass Kawhi. Yeah, he definitely did. You gave a lot of people. You're an idiot. Like, you make stupid trades. Gafford out 8 weeks. Yeah, he's out. No. AD out. Kyrie out. Everybody out. What's the worst injury you ever had playing ball, Sid, that kept you? My whole hip came out of place and I couldn't walk for 3 years. So yeah, that's an easy one.
6 on the shot clock.
New Legends League? Nah, we trying to find out who the GOAT is. So I put the 10 best players by ESPN standard, you know, as in the GOAT situation, the GOAT conversation. I put them all in the same draft, the 2003 draft with LeBron. And we're going to see who comes out on top over a multiple of years. I just wanted to, you know, introduce you guys to it and show you guys what I've been working on. It's basically going to be YouTube videos on YouTube, but I wanted you to see, you know, this in real time. What's going on? Portland has been having a rough season. I think they're 0-4 or 0-5 when I checked last. Let me find out my boy Sid practicing his commentary. Not really commentating, just, you know, I just love the game. I love basketball, man. It's something that's a passion of mine, man. Just passion of mine, man.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Anderson against Johnson.
I don't even know how it happened. It just happened. It's called a slip femoral epiphysis. That's what I had. A slip femoral epiphysis. It's where your hip slides out of place, and then they got to put pins in your leg to put it back. And they got to wait for your growth plate to close. Once your growth plate closes, they take the pins out. It's a 3-year process. Couldn't walk from the age of 11 to 14. What's up? Worst time of my life. I think I remember seeing a montage of you grinding your way back to recovery like 3 years ago. Part of an intro. Nah, my mom basically said I should go try out for the D League when it was called the D League. And I was thinking about it. Oh my God, LeBron. Never felt the same ever again on that court. No, I felt great. Had a great doctor. My doctor is from Duke University. He's named Dr. D'Amico. Lost a step, dog. I was 11. You act like I got injured when I was 18, 19. I was 11.
Think twice about attempting that shot next time. The defense was right on top of him there.
I don't think I lost a step at all. Like, it made me better. Hurting myself made me better because I worked hard. I worked hard when I was able to finally walk and play again. I cherished it. Whereas my friends were out playing, or my friends were out partying or doing crazy shit, like I was playing ball all day. I played ball all day. I didn't care what weather it was. How I'ma lose something? I was 11. I was 11, dog. Like, you're acting like I was 17, 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old. I was 11. What am I lose? I wasn't dunking yet. I wasn't really balling crazy at 11 years old. But I couldn't play anymore for 3 years. I couldn't walk. But when I got the chance to walk again and play, shit, like, I was hooping. Injury, meniscus tears, yeah, those are bad. Like, I never had anything wrong with my knees, really bad. Till like the end. That's when my knees started to go. But my left knee started to go. But like, I was 11 years old, bro. What did I really lose?
How about the toughness on the boards? Love whenever he stays after it.
Like, I didn't hit my zenith in basketball until I was like 15. Once I hit 15, it all clicked. I went from like 5'9" to 6 feet. I started to get my speed about me. I've been to rehab and all of that. I started to get speed. I started to be able to elevate a little bit. Always could really shoot. Always could really dribble. But I started to get everything. When I was about 15 years old, that's when I started to come into my own as a player. And then 16, I really took off. 17, I really took off. And then 18, you know, it was just good. And then I wasn't at my zenith till I was about 23. When I was 23, that's when I could consider like that's the beginning of my prime as a player. 23. I was getting to the basket. I was dunking on bigs. You know, it's to the point where I could get away from anybody I wanted to get away from. I could deal with the contact. You know, when you start really dribbling and, you know, guys are riding you up the court, you can't really deal with the contact until you get strong enough to deal with the contact. And in my era, you could actually put hands on people, so it's a lot different. I wish I played in the era that they play in now, where you can do a billion step backs and travel and do all the crazy shit that they can do and carry the ball and freedom of movement and all that. I wish I played in that era. Like, I didn't play in that era. If I did, my numbers would look crazy. What weight did I play best at? No, I wasn't weighing myself, dog. I played in the era where niggas wasn't doing that. We was just playing ball. No. Just hoop, man. Wasn't worried about none of that shit. We hooped. I don't even know how much I weighed when I was playing. And they lied about your height. Like, I was anywhere between 6'5" and 6'7". Like, I definitely ain't no 6'7". So I don't know where they get that. Like, they used to lie on everybody's shit, so nobody knows how much they weigh. Remember one time I started the camp, I was 6'4". I ended the camp, I was 6'6", because they was like, oh, Holmes could play. Let's make him 6'6", so he looks attractive to all these schools. And so, like, come on, bro. They be lying. I bet you they still be lying.
LeBron against Anderson. James, no good.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position.
Everybody want to talk about. Everybody want to talk about, like, you know, these players that are playing now. Like, I can't look at them like they this and they that. Like, especially when I played against you. Everybody be talking about LeBron James, this, that, and the third. Like, I played against LeBron. Like, Carmelo Anthony, I dropped 30 points on Carmelo Anthony. Like, you can't tell me these niggas is great. Shit, they sure kept looking at Barkley and Shaq's weight. Well, that's because they were overweight. There's a difference between being overweight, like Zion. My boy Sid played in the era with baggy clothes. Definitely did. He had the TJ Ford shorts on. Yeah, I mean, how old was LeBron and Melo? 15, 16. 15, 16. Old enough to be good, nigga. Like,
displaying intensity right off the opening tip.
I ain't guard LeBron. LeBron was something special. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. 6'6", about 220 at the time, 225. They had him listed at 6'6", 225, 16. You know, I was point guard, so I wasn't guarding that nigga. Well, he was special. Melo was good too. But I was giving that nigga buckets. You can't say that if they're 15. Come on.
Trailing by 10.
And what was I?
Denver passing it around.
I was a kid too.
Nene.
You just told me I lost something at 11, but now you like I can't talk to you about shit, bro. Like I can honestly say that I can't talk to you about nothing. The man told me that I lost something at 11 years old, but now when I'm talking about a 15-year-old, 16-year-old LeBron James who's on the cover of ESPN and all that as the chosen one and all that,
Shot clock at 5.
that he's a kid.
The pass to Bender.
How long you was this preparation, Sid? This is really about to be fun. It took me a while. It took me a long time. It takes me a long time to create it. But once I create it, it's created and I can enjoy it. Like right now, I'm just enjoying it. Aren't you way older? Nah.
Declared the pass to Stoudemire.
What's that got to do with the price of peanuts? I played against DeJuan Wagner. He was way older than me.
Shot clock.
I was out there getting it in.
The Trailblazers.
He dropped 50 on me in a half, though. That's the best player I've ever played against. DeJuan Wagner was amazing. Amazing.
Trailblazers, their last game, a loss to the Warriors.
But you talking about them as kids, like, they said LeBron James could have went to the NBA at 16.
It in. Pass to Howard. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Howard's got it back down to
I was 11, bro.
deficit for
You're talking about 11-year-old kid. You're talking about I was a kid. I was a kid.
Here's Odom. Stoudemire outside. Back to Odom.
I was busting all their ass.
Stiff arming that shooter.
CP3 bust his ass too.
Here's Shaw. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
I'll tell you, they played hard, they drew fouls, but they could not convert.
Hey, I'm done talking to you about anything. Don't bring up basketball to me ever again, bro.
Crazy. I mean, they know they're better.
Like, I'm telling him I was there playing against these people. I don't think this person has ever played against a Division III nigga. Like, being honest. Think you ever played against a Division III? I don't think you played college basketball the way that you talk.
Shaw passes
He's just talking.
to the paint.
Please do not talk to me about basketball no more.
Here's Nene.
I can't hear stupidity.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Shoots off the step back.
Realistically, do you think he could really play in the league at 16? That would have been entertaining, interesting to see. Yeah, I think LeBron James could have played in the NBA at 16.
The first quarter.
I think so.
Trailblazers lead by 8.
Because his game hasn't really changed much. Like, from when he was 16, his game hasn't really changed so much that, you know, you'd be like, we don't recognize him as a player. You know what I mean? He's pretty much been the same player his entire career. I think that there's one thing that, there's one difference, though. I think his shot was a lot smoother.
Just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And taking a look at the Trailblazers' performance, what do you think they're doing or not doing?
Yeah, bro.
Just a terrific first quarter, sparked really by their unselfishness.
Yeah, and you know, so many of their
He gone again.
assists, which is
I know exactly who this nigga is now.
ball movement
I know
and
exactly who he is now.
could have been much better defense. I mean, you can't give this
You just
guy
told on
any
yourself.
room to operate.
This man really has created mad different names to come up in here.
Here's Wilt. He's guarded closely.
He really has created mad different names to come up in here and talk nonsense.
Does not get much easier.
Nick Mayo was probably the best player in Maine when I played. I don't remember who Nick Mayo is. That's probably past my prime. Past when I was playing.
That was a winning basketball play. Only good
But
things
nah,
happen.
man, this man's really created mad different names come up in here and talk, bro.
He's off on the first.
That mess is crazy. His debut against the Kings really set the blueprint. Yeah, I mean that was a crazy debut, man. He pretty much put up his career numbers in his first game ever. So, but I'm just keeping it real. Like LeBron James, he hasn't really changed much as a player since he was 16. When I seen him when he was 16 and 17, like he hasn't really changed much as a player. He's pretty much the same player. He's just bigger.
I like the
Just bigger and stronger.
intuitiveness, getting everything he possibly could out of that play.
I know you did, bro, because I know who it is now. Like he told on himself. I knew who it was for a while, but it's like
Second chance points always hurt.
Some people you give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's like after what was said to me by him, you can kick rocks, and that just shows just how sad his life really is. To keep on creating different names to come up with somebody's stream who does not want to talk to you. Like, that is the most ridiculous stuff I have ever heard in my life.
Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in.
There's no way. If somebody banned me from their stream, I'm going to make another name to come back up in there. That just makes you look pathetic. Like, I don't want somebody like that. I don't want to talk to somebody like that. Who's the GOAT to me? Michael Jordan is the GOAT to me, easily. I don't think it's even a debate. I don't even know why they debate it, but they do. Hey, we're gonna go to the last 5 minutes like we did the last time. Hopefully we keep a good game. If we don't keep a good game, then we just go to the next game. But right now they look like they blowing them out a little bit. They could come back. Got 7-point lead. We got LeBron James, rookie LeBron James with 21 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. We got Magic Johnson with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Magic is having a crackhead game, 13 to 16 from the field. He's going crazy. You have to remember, rookie LeBron James, this will probably be the worst version of him, because rookie LeBron James averaged about 20 points and 5 rebounds, 5 assists, which is great for a rookie. But in that second season, you're going to see me jump him. He's going to take a significant jump, because that's when he started averaging 27, 28 points per game, about 7 rebounds. Pretty much his career numbers he started averaging in his second season. I don't know how people go on somewhere they're not welcome. I can never do it. Exactly, bro. Like, I don't agree with. I just don't understand that shit. I don't. Because you guys all know that every single name that comes up in here, I have a conversation with all of you guys, and I get to know all of you guys that come up in here. So I know who regularly is in here. That name has never been in here whatsoever. And he has been basically, he's giving me the vibe of the person that I have banned a million times out of here. He gave me that vibe, and then he just gave himself away with what he said a minute ago. So for the fact that he would just keep coming up in here, it just shows me like how sad his life is. There's no way. There's absolutely no way I would do that. Somebody don't want me in here, I'm not going to be in here. I will be gone. I'll be damned.
One of those effort plays that makes a big difference in the game.
And GA, it is definitely making a difference so far today.
Well, if you're not going to take care of the defensive glass, it's going to be hard to come away with the win.
Yeah, he'll be back in here with another name. You watch. And then I'll sniff it out and ban him again. I'm going to ban him as many times as I have to ban him just to get him out of here. Right. Straight up. What you talking about, Black?
The scoring breakdown for the Trailblazers.
They've been playing some really physical offense, just attacking the paint as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't know why people even discuss that. I don't know why they even discuss the GOAT conversation. To me, it's not even a conversation. But I'm doing this to see, because, a lot of these guys haven't had, good pass, LeBron. A lot of these guys haven't had the advancements in medicine and all the stuff, and this kind of gives them that ability to play with the same rules that a lot of these guys are playing in. So I want to see who the GOAT would be. Will Wilt Chamberlain still be as dominant with 7-footers in the league? But I put their stats in here and what they do well and all of that. What a pass from Magic. What's good, Otto?
From mid-range, a good offense can come at you from any place.
Anderson outside. LeBron left side. Pass to Campbell. Anderson against Johnson. Pulls it up. And it'll go.
Oh, great shot by Kenny.
Lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket.
It's definitely a good game. It's crazy how folks do all that to get blocked. Hey, I don't understand, bro. Like, I was gonna leave him alone, but he said some out of pocket shit to me, like some real out of pocket, like super out of pocket. So, yeah, he would never He can come up here and try to be somebody else all you want, but he'll always give himself away because he's an obnoxious asshole who doesn't know anything about anything. And you can tell. He just want to argue with somebody. And especially wanting to talk to somebody who has no real want to speak to him at all. It's crazy. And he knows. This is like a sick game. It's like talking to a little kid. It's like a sick game to a little kid. Lets me know. That just lets me know like who I'm dealing with. I don't want people like that around me. Let me know his life sucks. Oh, that's good defense by Kenny. That's good defense. We got a good game. We got a real close one. We got a tight one. Oh, good block. Lamar Odom with the block.
Here's James.
LeBron.
Shot clock at 6.
Uh-oh.
The effort you love seeing from Randolph, wanting to make a difference and putting his handprints on this game.
Oh, what a move by Odom.
And the Trailblazers lead by 7. And here's James.
See if young LeBron could take over. Young LeBron. He only at 84 overall in this season.
Pass to Candy. Stolen by Randolph.
Like I said, next season he will take a significant jump. Significant.
Down low. They double team Johnson. Howard against Odom. Fires the clock. Fires away.
Odom.
Way outside. And the rebound goes to Marcus Camby.
Give it to Bron.
Here's Denver now. 7-point differential.
Let's go, Bron. Gotta make something happen, Bron. Oh, good pass. Oh. Magic. 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 Magic Johnson. Rookie Magic Johnson. He's got 30. 31.
Game's on the line. He knows how to deliver the crushing blow.
I think it's safe to call this one a wrap.
Stolen again. LeBron is not passing the ball great right now. He's turning that thing over. He is the turnover king. See if he can break that record again. That'd be crazy. The GOAT been Bron for a minute now. Good opinion.
And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile.
That's cool though. That's cool though, Marcus. I don't know how old you are, but you know what I mean. Think how you want to think. Magic had 31 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. He had a crackhead game. That is nuts. That is just nuts. Nothing else needs more to be said about that. LeBron with 23 points and 5 turnovers, 9 of 14 from the field. Growing pains for LeBron. LeBron is going to get way better. Michael Jordan had the first shoe. He did not have the first shoe. The first face of the league. He was not the first face of the league. So this lets me know I'm talking to somebody who's absolutely crazy. Give Dipsy this LeBron so I could beat. Nah, he can't have this LeBron. This is not LeBron. It wouldn't be Legends League if we didn't have the real version of LeBron. You know what I mean? Let's see where the next game is. Here we go. We got Magic versus Michael. We got Magic versus Michael coming up. That's always going to be a good one. You get to see that same team we just saw with Michael Jordan. We got Jason Williams, White Chocolate, with Michael Jordan, Shane Battier, Drew Gooden, and Pau Gasol. MJ had the first real shoe that stayed around for multiple versions, what I mean. No, he didn't. He didn't. But that's okay, you can think that. But he didn't.
Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition.
So who did? The Converse All-Star was the first shoe Converse All-Star was the first shoe worn. The Chuck Taylor was the first shoe worn. And there were a few people who were sponsored and signed to Converse to promote this shoe. So for you to sit there and say that it was the first shoe, it was not. For you to say that Michael Jordan was the first face of the NBA is crazy, because he was not. That is very, very disrespectful to say that he was. MJ had 30 of them. I'd love to see who that their own brand and shoe and made 30 of them. That is down the line when we know the history of the NBA. Now we know there's been 30 of them. But when Jordan first came out, it was absurd to pay someone $250,000 to have a shoe line when all the other guys were getting like $150,000. But they were promoting the same shoe. And some of them had different twists to it. So it wasn't the first shoe, no. So I am sorry. But you are just dating yourself as a human being that you really don't know the history of what's going on with basketball by saying that Jordan was the first face of the NBA when he definitely was not. Did you have a favorite six-man player you enjoyed watching? That goes a little too far. Just had other favorite players that I like watching. This is young Jordan. Not so polished. Mr. Go to the basket Jordan.
Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Jordan's got the first points up on the
Jordan would take that thing to the basket on anyone.
Anderson dishes to Odom.
Manu Ginobili.
Randolph sets a screen for Odom.
You really don't know Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. You really probably don't know who the microwave is. He was the first real, like, important six-man. He made the game way more popular worldwide than in America. Well, my friend, that would be Michael Jordan getting the credit. But the Dream Team, as a whole, made the NBA way more popular because there was no social media. So they used the Olympics to promote the NBA and sell the NBA to the rest of the world. Michael Jordan just happened to be the best player on that team. So he gets the credit that the Dream Team pretty much should get. If you're an MJ guy, nothing Bron does can now make him your GOAT. If he gets 6 championships, I'll call him the GOAT. If he gets 6 championships, I'll call him the GOAT. If he could go back and not look crazy like that against Dallas, I'd call him the GOAT, because then he would have won that finals, have 5. If he didn't get beat by the greatest finals margin in the history of finals, I may call him the GOAT. And if he wins those 2, ironically, he has 6. But I only hold 2 real things against LeBron. Bird owns MJ, not gonna lie. Bird owns young MJ, just like everybody young owned young LeBron. Like young MJ. Bron is better in every metric other than putting more shots up. Bron's PER is not better. His victories above replacement is not better. His points per game is not better. Those metrics definitely do matter. His points per game in the playoffs is not better. His win percentage in the playoffs is not better, I believe. I'm just being honest with that. I believe Michael won more series in a row than LeBron James did. I believe Mike won 26 more series than 26 series in a row. Points per game is because of way more shots. You can put it that way, but when the margin is that big in the playoffs, I don't think it just has to do with more shots. It has to do with somebody who's actually out there hungry to score. Here we go. We got another person in here talking crazy to me. Bron got to the finals in year 4. That is wonderful. Did he win? And I don't hold that one against him. That is great that he got to the finals in year 4. Michael got there in year 7. And then the rest of the time he was in the Bulls uniform, he didn't play a full season without getting to and winning the finals. Like, that has to be said for something. He retired and came back and won 3 in a row. LeBron has yet to win 3 in a row. 3 in a row is very, very hard to do. The last team in American sports to win 3 in a row was the Lakers in the early 2000s. It's very hard to do. Jordan did it twice. Dream Team did what they did that. You are right. Yes, the Dream Team did do that. It wasn't just Michael Jordan. It was the Dream Team. Why do you think that Dirk Nowitzki wears the number 41? It's not for Michael Jordan. It's because that It's for Charles Barkley. It is Charles Barkley's dream team number backwards. They don't want to talk about after 87 with Jordan and Bird. They don't want to talk about after 87. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, everybody loses at the beginning except for Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Bron played four ball Hall of Famers at once. I'm going to say this, and this is the last thing that I'm going to say to you, Marcus, because you sound like a complete buffoon when it comes to this topic. You said that Bron played 4 Hall of Famers at once. Michael Jordan did that against Bird and them. They had Larry Bird. They had Danny Ainge. They had Bill Walton. They had Kevin McHale. They had Dennis Johnson. That is 5 Hall of Famers right there on that team alone. And you expect a young Michael Jordan to beat 5 Hall of Famers. But you don't expect prime LeBron James to beat 4. You sound crazy. Bums? Yeah, I'm not talking. I'm about to let me get rid of him for a little bit. You deserve to be gotten rid of, and I like you. And I absolutely like you. I like you a lot. But yeah, you deserve a timeout. You deserve a timeout for that.
Surprised to find himself that wide open.
Timeout.
This early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense.
You deserve a timeout.
And it's Jordan with the jam.
Hey, I know Jordan just got into the league, but is there really a
Cannot argue with people that have
perhaps in the world?
that kind of convoluted, stupid opinion. That is stupid. Kevin McHale had that footwork in the post. Kevin McHale shot almost 62% in most seasons. Like, the dude was unstoppable in the post. To call Kevin McHale a bum is crazy. To call Larry Bird a bum is crazy. To call Dennis Johnson a bum is crazy. Dennis Johnson has one of the highest percentages by a guard in playoff history. He just became a great player in the playoffs. Like, out of nowhere, would be a really, really good player during the season and become friggin' the greatest in the playoffs. So please stop it. Time out for you saying something very, very, very stupid.
Jordan outside. Stolen by Anderson.
Yeah, it's just really ridiculous to me. How people say some of the stuff that they say. What a move by Derek Anderson. Was a very good player in his day. Very good. We got a Magic versus Michael Seiton.
Williams dishes to Jordan. Back to Williams.
Stolen.
Taken away by Magic. They're running. Pass to Anderson.
Stolen back by MJ.
Fast break Memphis.
Oh, good pass, J. Will.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Yeah, but it's like I be sitting here looking at people say some of the stuff they say, and I cannot believe it. I just can't believe it.
Their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. I know we're very early in the season, but Greg, how quickly can players on new teams grab onto the new offense and defense of their new teammates?
It's rare in this league that you don't go to a team where you know.
That's when I can tell that I'm talking to somebody. Like, I can respect a person that has seen MJ play, has seen LeBron play, and they say LeBron's better because they can give a take on MJ that is realistic. When somebody has never seen the era, you can always tell when they've never seen it and they didn't live through the era. You can always tell.
And he makes both free throws. Here's Williams. His last outing, 16 points for him. Jordan outside. Lock at 6. Gasol on the high post. Yep, that one goes. Gasol's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Jordan with a delightful delivery on that one.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
Yeah, it's just things that, like,
Carry that into this one.
Well, you look at the
Just
points
wild
they
things.
produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive end.
Well, it's really hard to stop them when they're in a groove offensively, and they were in a comfort zone all game long in that one.
Now here's Odom. Johnson, double team. Here's Randolph. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol.
What up, Chan Lee? Poppin', bro.
Points just never materialized.
Williams with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. Here's the screen. Down low.
Oh, good pass to Stroll Miles Swift.
Fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Swift knows how to put some muscle and power behind those jams. Excellent.
Still got Jordan in the game. Still got Magic in the game. Magic is going up against smaller guards in this era. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's what people understand. Magic Johnson was an ultimate mismatch and would have to have another player guard him. But who's going to do it? Okay, Gasol.
Now that is impressive agility from the big man, Pau Gasol.
Patterson passes to Johnson. Shot on the wing.
Magic.
The jump shot. Johnson's got 10.
Magic is killing Jay Will, which he would do in actual life probably. He probably would kill Jay Will. Michael Jordan has absolutely no three-pointer at this stage. Oh my God, no three-pointer at this stage in his career. I think his three-pointer is like a 60, if that. I didn't give him no three. He took 12 threes in a season early in his career. He was not shooting threes until later in his career, and didn't shoot them well until they moved the line in. He didn't shoot them like high percentage well. But he never really took that many. There he goes, as we say something. He took one and made one. Tell you, his three-pointer is like a 60. Just so y'all can see, like, I'm not lying to you. Mike's three-pointer is like a 60. Three-point rating, 62.
Jordan has at this young age, I mean, phenomenal at shooting in rhythm.
Now, here's Johnson. He's coming off a 31-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio.
And his passing also off the charts in that game. In just about every aspect of their offense, he was dialed in.
And they both came out, so we gonna fast forward it up. Hopefully the game stays good. Yeah, Magic had. Oh, this game is out of hand. This game is out of pocket. It might be our first. Oh, here we go. They came back a little bit. All right, we'll play it from here. Got a 9-point lead for the Grizz. Michael Jordan has 38 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals, and 8 turnovers. Mike is out there turning that thing over. Something brutal. Magic has 22, 8, 6, and 5 steals with 1 turnover. So let's see who ends up with the better stats here. Michael Jordan is turning that thing over at an alarming rate right now.
Here is Williams.
They still have the lead, though. And Mike is about to get 40.
Gasol finds Williams. Memphis moving it around.
Jay Will,
Three-point land.
boy, took one from Nova Scotia. Something he was known to do back in his day. Shoot a wild 3 or 2. Magic, not his game. Shane Battier out of bounds. Good defense by Zach Randolph. Magic jump shot is horrendous. So, definitely ugly. Ugly as shit, boy.
They trail by 9 points. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Back to Odom. Shot clock at 6. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Odom's got 21.
It's definitely getting them. But nah, it ain't bad. They got time. They got time.
Williams passes to Gasol.
Powell. Oh my goodness, Powell. He would forget this was Powell's team. This was Powell's team.
The scoring breakdown for Memphis.
You love how they've lived in the paint, making the defense just consistently have to collapse.
Oh, what a pass from Magic. Magic with the board.
And I love the way they've been attacking the basket. I mean, they've looked
Magic going at a center in the post is crazy.
They've done a nice job doing that.
You can't look look at the result of that.
What players from the 90s would be better in this era? A lot. Oh, Michael. MJ, 40.
He's so quick, so fluid, so good. Jordan.
He ain't even got his mid-range yet. I got him at a 77 mid-range right now. Wait until that gets perfected. This is young Mike that went to the basket and tried to tear everything off the rim.
24 points for
This
him.
is that Mike.
And you can see the defense broke down there, allowing him to get all the way to the hoop.
And here's Williams now. He'll bring it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. With a 9-point lead.
Oh, MJ again, 42.
And never in the history
Influenced every culture known to man in 12, 28 games. Then gave us the Michael Jordan last dance. MJ, man.
Scoring record. Their fans will be reliving this game for a long, long time. 1:33 left to play in the final quarter.
MJ.
Leading by 9.
MJ. MJ. Can't full court press him, man.
Nasty right there, Jordan, with the burst to get there. And the
Jordan doing Jordan things, man. MJ doing MJ things.
Johnson against Williams.
Magic.
It's the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. They get Paul Gasol.
Saying there's a lot of players that would have been better from the 90s era that are in here now. Like,
he drew there, that would have been a heck
one player, Mark Price would have been better. Mitch Richmond would have been better. Abdul Rauf would have been way better now than he would have been in the 90s. You look at Dana Barros, like I said before, he would have been way better. You have John Stockton, I believe, would have been way better. That whole Jazz team would have been better.
1 and 2 from three-point range here in the fourth.
I believe that Karl Malone could extend his range to the three-point line.
Jordan's got 40.
He was a really good shooter. Yeah, he had MJ hooping, and then he changed his whole style, like, for no reason. He should have just kept his shit the way it was. Like, some of y'all overcoached. Like, you don't realize that the job of a coach is to build something that works, and then once it works, you keep it there. But
capable of throwing it down on these drives.
it's just a lot of players would have been better, man. Reggie Miller would have been way better in this era than he would have been in his own.
Here's Williams. There's a screen.
John Starks, I believe, would have been a better player.
And it's Randolph with the rebound.
It's just guys would have had way more freedom to do what they wanted to do as basketball players. Iverson's career would have looked completely different had he come along in the recent years than he did when he came in, even though he still had a great career. Iverson would have played way better in this type of free-flowing, being able to carry the ball, do whatever you want to do offense. Like,
So it's Memphis.
he'd have played way better. He'd have been a much different player.
Clearly showed the greater effort.
Much different player. Who are the top defenders of all time? To me, Scottie Pippen is the greatest defender ever. That's just me being honest. Like, Scottie Pippen to me is the greatest defender that has ever played basketball. Yeah, Michael Jordan with 46 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals on 28 shots. But he hit 20 of the 28, which is crazy. And he only hit 1 3-pointer. You had Magic with 30 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals. He had a Magic Johnson type game. It doesn't get any better than what Magic did there. How much overdone would average in this era? I don't know what you mean. You have to explain that. How much would Iverson average in this era? Whew, Jesus. I think he'd be in 35, 36 at least. We talking, Jordan averaged 37 in his highest season, and that was back then. So I give Iverson about 36. I give Kobe probably average 40 if he came in now. Just me being honest, man. Kobe would average about 40. Easy 40. Just because the mentality of those players is to score the basketball. That's just what they did best, and what they really were out there to do is to score the basketball. Now we're going to see somebody who I think all of y'all want to see. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Westbrook, the GOAT. I don't know if Westbrook is the GOAT, but Westbrook is one of my favorite players to watch all time. Definitely. Scotty is a good one. He was 6'9". He's not 6'8", he was 6'9", really pretty much 6'9". You look at Rodman, who was listed at 6'8". Scottie Pippen taller than him. They had Scotty listed at 6'7", but he was close to 6'9". But you look at I'll just say that all the things that Scottie Pippen did as a defender, all the things he did was just something crazy. He could defend I show people the Scottie Pippen retrospective. Like that'll show you the second half of that when he's playing defense. You see he played defense on guards. He played defense on bigs. You can get the weak side block, the strong side block, the help block. He would get the weak side steals. He get passing lane steals. He just rip you straight up. Scottie Pippen moved his feet. He got charges. He was just an amazing defender. He's an amazing defender, man. You got Eric Strickland, Steven Jackson, Captain Jack out there. We got Sean Marion, Samaki Walker. Wow, what a name. And then you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a rookie. And you got Magic Johnson on the other side. Magic is getting a lot of burn right now. We're seeing a lot of Magic Johnson right now, but we get to see the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We're going to put it in a different camera view for y'all so y'all can understand that the game is moving pretty good even when you look at it from 2K standards. I'm trying to show it like a TV broadcast. Allegedly Westbrook the GOAT. Maybe at 50 and like a quarter. Oh yeah, he's no joke. He's trying to score. Now you're going to see it from my perspective. Maybe respect the game a little bit more the way it moves like this. Scotty in my top. It's kind of hard for people to watch this view because if you got vertigo, like it F's with you. So I put it on high instead. Scotty in my top 3, but he couldn't do shit with who? Grant Hill. Couldn't nobody guard Grant Hill though. It's like saying couldn't nobody do nothing with Jordan. Like couldn't nobody do nothing with Kobe. Like Grant Hill is one of them ones. I don't know what you're trying to talk about. Like Grant Hill would have been one of the greatest players of all time had he stayed healthy. He was an all-star in every single season that he played, from rookie all the way up until he got hurt. Did you watch Pippen on the Trailblazers in the 2000 season? Not as much. I mean, he's pretty much past his prime to me. I mean, he was good. He's good, but he wasn't prime Scottie Pippen. He's out of his prime. He's past his prime at that point. Past his prime. Yeah, cause nobody do nothing with Grant Hill. You act like Grant Hill wasn't out there slaying the whole league. Grant Hill was touted as the next Jordan before he got hurt. At one point, like he was the next Jordan. And then they had Penny Hardaway, who was supposed to be the next Jordan, got hurt. I don't know why they had Harold Miner in that conversation and called him Baby Jordan. That is ridiculous. When Michael Jordan went up against Harold Miner, he destroyed Harold Miner because they would call him Baby Jordan. Okay, Derek Anderson out here hooping. It was more than just his 1-2 combo. Hey, Grant Hill had great pacing as a basketball player. If Grant Hill had a jumper, like a real fluid knockdown jumper when he was young, he'd have been the most unguardable player ever to that point. But he just really didn't have a consistent jumper. He didn't have a consistent Jimmy, but Grant Hill could pass the ball, he could rebound the ball, he could run the flow, he could dribble. Like, he had everything. He just didn't have a consistent jumper when he was young.
Basketball just over 2.5 minutes play. Wells with the steal.
And he won 2 national championships at Duke. He won one as a freshman and then one as a sophomore. He won back-to-back chips at Duke. And we all know that that's only been done a few times. I believe the only teams to do it in the last, 40 years is Duke, Florida, and UConn. Go back-to-back. Back-to-back is tough. UConn trying to win. UConn trying to win 3 in a row. But I don't think that's going to happen. Kareem getting off to a quick start. Kareem shot free throws well. That's another thing that, big men didn't really do, shoot free throws well, but Kareem shot them well. You couldn't just hack Kareem and think you was going to get a 1 out of 2 situation or he's going to miss them both. He's going to knock them both down. What do you think about Pip offensively? I think Pippen was a really good offensive player. He just never was asked to have to carry the load offensively because he had Michael Jordan. Like, who you gonna give the ball to? Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan? You're gonna give it to Michael Jordan. But Scottie Pippen had his games where he was absolutely lethal offensively. Pippen is the person that really started the transition three. If you really want to think about it, like the first real Timo Cruz in basketball was Scottie Pippen, and it was because Phil Jackson told Pippen if he got a steal, he had the green light to shoot a transition three. That's the only time I want to see a quick three. Yeah, Castle is on the Spurs now. That's the only time I want to see a transition three, or you take a quick three like that. I don't want to see no quick threes. I don't want to see no quick threes if you coming up the court and you just starting the offense. But if you get a steal, you got clearance to shoot a crazy transition three. And look at Pippen's highlight tape. Anytime Pippen got a steal, he was looking for that transition three for the most part, if he couldn't get a dunk. Because he knew he was allowed to take them then. So he was the first real Timo Cruz.
Of his versatility at his position.
On the wing, Johnson. And the shot goes down.
Like, straight up, the first real Timo Cruz was Scottie Pippen. No doubt about it. I'm 25. Can you explain why it wasn't more of an emphasis on everyone having at least a 15-foot jumper? Everybody did have at least a 15-foot jumper. Man, you look at people, they have 15-foot jumpers. It's just that the game was played inside out back then. Like, the teams would play the game through the center. You know, it was a center-driven league. They said Michael Jordan would never win a championship because he wasn't 7 feet, or he could never like be the face of a team or spearhead a team because he wasn't 7 feet, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and those guys. Like, they really said this. Like, people got to give Michael Jordan credit for the transition of modern basketball. Like, he made it cool and acceptable for guards to be the forefront of offenses. It just wasn't a thing until, you know, they saw it work. And then after Jordan worked, you know, you see a lot of other guys come in and they run the game through the point guard, through the two guard. Like, Michael Jordan actually basically was the center on the Bulls offensively. Because if you look at the triangle offense, is nothing but it's called the triple post offense. The real name for the triangle offense that Phil Jackson calls triangle, it's just the triple post offense. And Michael Jordan was the best post player in the NBA with Shaq and Hakeem and Patrick Ewing, all these big dudes in the league, but Mike was the best post player in the league. When he figured out the whole turnaround jumper thing and all that, like, best post player in the league. They always said a scoring champion couldn't lead the chip. Yeah, they said a scoring champion wouldn't win championships. They don't win championships, and he proved that wrong. He won the scoring title 6 times while winning the championship. There's only been 3 scoring champions, I believe, to win the championship. I believe Michael Jordan has won. I believe Shaq did it 1 year, and George Mikan, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I know Shaq and Jordan are the only ones in the last 30, 40 years to win the scoring title and win a championship. It's only happened a few times. It's only happened a few times, man. Jordan did it every time, and Shaq did it one of the years. 95 Orlando and 95 Houston had the perfect offensive philosophy to me. I love that shit. I mean, I don't think it was perfect, but you know, it was great. Like, everybody talks about they couldn't shoot, but then you go ahead and you look at Orlando in 1995. Like, they had Dennis Scott, who could really shoot the ball. They had Penny Hardaway, who could shoot the ball. They had Nick Anderson, who could shoot the ball, surrounded by Shaq. So Shaq was surrounded by shooters. And I believe that team had Matt Bullard, who was a stretch big, who was shooting the ball at 6'8", 6'10", whatever it was. Like, so, I mean, come on. Everybody always talking about teams that had players that couldn't shoot the ball, but that Orlando Magic team had all shooters, and then that Houston team in 95 had all shooters. We're talking about that Houston team had Sam Cassell, Mad Max, Robert Horry, Mario Elie at one point. Mario Elie could really shoot the ball. Who else did they have on that team that could really shoot it? Otis Thorpe couldn't shoot to save his life. Carl Herrera couldn't shoot. Hakeem could shoot, but he just wasn't extending to the three-point line. You're looking at it like that. But, man, to say that guys in the era couldn't shoot is wild. It just wasn't a big part of the game at that point in time period. So analytics got involved in the NBA. And once analytics got involved in the NBA, they were like, shoot more threes, shoot more threes, shoot more threes. And then Golden State wins the championship shooting a lot of threes, and now everybody wants to copy that style. It's a copycat league.
Outside Jackson.
It is a copycat league, my friend.
That's it. He's got 2
What a shot.
and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Captain Jack.
Punch, counter punch.
Are they both out now?
Offensive production.
Or is Magic still out there?
Hey guys, this is going to be fun now. I mean, we've got ourselves a shootout on tap here.
Pass to Johnson.
Magic. Who had the perfect offensive philosophy to me? Perfect philosophy to me was, if I had to say one team that had the best philosophy for me, it would be that Phoenix Suns team. That Phoenix Suns team with Steve Nash and
Leading by 3.
Sean Marion and all them boys. Who was on that team? Michael Finley,
Here's the drive.
Joe Johnson. Like, that team was explosive. Believe Barbosa was on that team. Don't quote me on that. Believe Barbosa was on that team. Leandro Barbosa. Like, that team was tough. And then they had the pick and roll combo of Amare and Steve Nash. Like, that team was amazing to watch offensively.
Working the blocks nicely, Lamar Odom.
Especially for the time period that they played in. It just was beautiful basketball.
Out to the right wing.
It was beautiful, beautiful basketball to watch. And then everybody copied it. Then you see high pick and roll being ran every single play. Barbosa was there. Okay, so Barbosa was on that team as well. So you look at high pick and roll took over the NBA after that. And now all you see is high pick and roll. You even see it in 2K. High pick and roll. That's what we play.
The Lakers also making a change.
Like, that's why I get mad with all these people talking, oh, you hide behind screens. Have you not watched an NBA game? High pick and roll.
Kicks it to Odom.
See, it's not so much right now. You don't see too much high pick and roll right now in this. But watch when you see the coaching changes and stuff happen over the years.
Pick up 2.
And then we get deep into this right here.
Bucket of the night.
That's when you're going to see it.
Best inside, able to play
But the game was high pick and roll when Steve Nash came in and made it that way.
Glover guarded by Odom.
Steve Nash is tough. He doesn't give enough credit.
Glorious screen on Patterson. Gets the 3-pointer to fall.
He does not get enough credit for what he did.
Fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
So I mean that to me was the perfect offense for the time.
Finds Odom. Spins.
Then I like the Spurs offense from
Good work defensively by Marion.
I like the Spurs offense
By 4.
from the late 2000s into all the way to about 2014, 2015.
To the paint.
That Tony Parker when Tony Parker was finally given the keys to the offense, and then you got Ginobili, you had
Really good work from
You had
down
Tim
to the
Duncan.
nice touch inside.
you had a bunch of pieces out there that really could do certain things.
Seconds left to play in the first quarter.
And you gotta love the
Yeah, Jaren Jackson out there, senior.
on the inside as he does on the perimeter. Inflicting
So
some
it was just some.
with the two-hand flush.
What about Daryl Dawkins and Shaq busting backboards?
Now's the time to do it.
Daryl Dawkins, I think, broke more backboards than Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal took down the whole basket. There's a difference.
Pass to Patterson.
Like, Shaq could take down the whole structure. Daryl Dawkins was just shattering backboards, taking rims off. Like, I remember he dunked one time and he took the whole rim with him. Like, he just tore the rim off. It was crazy. He literally tore the rim off the
No
dang.
shortage of offense.
The Lakers are up in this game so far. We're going fast forward. Hopefully they can hang on because the Lakers are going to be a tough team. I think Kareem won a championship very early in his career, so we'll see if he can replicate that in this league. We got the last 3 minutes. Go to the box score. We got Kareem with 24 and 12, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 23 for Sean Marion. On the other side, Magic Johnson has 13.7 rebounds, 6 assists. He's doing his thing. Bonzi Wells is leading right now. We got the last 3 minutes, and it's a good game, so let's see what this do.
Lakers trail by 4.
They trailing by 4.
Strickland.
Kareem is in the game. You know they're going to Kareem.
Walker in the corner.
Are they going to go back to Kareem? They should go back to him.
Strickland.
Eric Strickland is not a scorer. They're going to box that.
Good D by Johnson.
The defense ready for him on that possession.
Odom.
Had to be.
Look at it. Odom and Magic Johnson on the team is crazy. Odom.
Odom's shot. Good. Odom's got 10 points here in the second half.
Odom.
About the aggressive finish inside. You can't shot.
They need to just keep going to the boy. Keep going to the boy.
Pass to Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem. Hook shot. You know you can't stop it. What could fix the NBA product realistically? I don't know what could fix the product realistically, but I know what could fix the. I know what could fix the fanfare at least. Hopefully, the NBA has become a rich man's sport, and I hate to say that. It's become a rich man's sport. Back when I was playing, when I was younger, it was so easy to get on oh my God, Derek Anderson! It was so easy to get on a AAU team or a club team or whatever you want to call it. It was so easy to do those things back then because it didn't cost you an arm and a leg to get there and be on that team. Now to be on an AAU team, it costs you like $500 just to start being on the team. What inner city kid parents are going to be able to say, okay, we're going to pay $500 to have my kid on the team right now? You know, that shit just doesn't happen. You've been listening all morning. You got to say some people have zero basketball IQ. Yes, I definitely understand. Feel of them changing the 10 quarters. I think it'd be detrimental to the game to change it to 10-minute quarters just so that you can have a 2-hour broadcast. I think that is stupid. It would skew all the stats. It would make sure that some stats are unattainable and unreachable, and they never be reached. Points per game would be skewed. Everything, all the per game stats would be skewed. Nobody'd ever catch Jordan with 30 points per game. Nobody'd ever catch LeBron James with points overall, even though I think nobody's going to catch him anyway for a long time. But, you know, the points per game would not be feasible. The assists per game would not be feasible anymore. We basically have to do the same thing that we do when we say before the merger. We'd have to say before the 10 minutes. Before the 10-minute rule. Exactly. Everything is definitely within your fingertips. Like, that's what changes everything. Like, people don't realize when Jordan and them were the best players in promoting the game, there was no social media. Like, now they got so much at their disposal of everything. And how is the league watched less now than it was in Jordan's last season? Like, it shouldn't be that way. What do you think about allowing 3 in the key? What do you mean about allowing 3 in the key? What do you mean? Allowing 3, you gotta be specific. We have Kareem with 28, 13, and 4 with 1 steal and 2 blocks. He was 11 and 21 from the field. We had Magic Johnson with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, and they ended up winning the game. Magic didn't have one of his stellar games. Like, we send points scored by players in our game chat. We're not watching that shit live. Exactly, we're not watching it live, and that's why I'm like, bro. That's why I don't agree with this era of a fan, because they're talking about somebody's the greatest who they don't even watch play the whole game. Like, they're watching highlights. Like, we actually watched the whole game. We actually sat down as a family and we watched the whole game. That's not happening now. None of that is happening now. None of it. Like, none of this, it's not happening now. None of it. None of it's happening. We're sitting here watching the games, and we're hoping and praying that our best player plays well because we're looking at a parlay. You know what I mean? It's to that point, bruh. It's to that point, dog. That's why I'm like, come on, dog. We get to have a Kobe sighting right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting a Kobe Bryant sighting right here. Kobe with Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. playing against Shaquille O'Neal, all as rookies. We got Sam Cassell, Ray Allen, Michael Redd, Tim Thomas, and Shaq. This is probably the best team in the East. I'm not going to lie, even though this team over here on the Heat is very, very good as well. We got Hibachi, Gilbert Arenas, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Butler, Carlos Boozer, and Wilt Chamberlain. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be tough.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports.
Allowing the defensive 3 seconds rule like they do in the Olympics, it's already a rule. It is a rule in the NBA defensive 3 seconds. What are you talking about, bruh? It is a rule. It wasn't a rule back then, but it is a rule now. It's been a rule for the longest of times. Defensive 3 seconds been a rule.
Here's Bryant coming off a solid outing against Philadelphia. Arenas can't hit.
Oh, you mean allowing it, meaning they could sit in there and camp in the paint? We've already been there. Like, the NBA wants more scoring. We've already been there. The NBA wants more scoring. The NBA wants it to be easy to score. Like, it's just the truth. Kobe. Uh-oh. Rookie Kobe.
Shaq kicks to Thomas. Here's Cassell.
Sam I am. Changing it back, we already been there, man. The NBA wants more scoring. They want more scoring, easier scoring, and the paint not to be clogged. That's what they want. Another thing that people don't understand, that they made the game easier to score. Like, all these numbers are we're in the stat porn era. This is the stat porn era, where it's so easy to score. They have changed all the rules to benefit the offense. All of them. It's amazing because 2K is going the other route. 2K has made all the rules and took away all the dribble moves and all the real stuff that we could do offensively to benefit the defense. And the NBA is the complete opposite. They benefit in the offense. So it's like, come on. Like, why would 2K not follow the same model that the NBA is following? People are going to get pissed. Like, I'm not saying make every shot go in, but give us moves. Give us freedom of movement. Something that we can really get down. Like, a lockdown with 99 perimeter can ride you all the way up the court. That's not how the game is. That's not how the game is in the NBA. What game are they watching? Ray Allen for 3. This team is going to get him up. They got Ray Allen and Michael Redd and Sam Cassell. They're going to get him up. This is more modern day-ish right here. This team. Kobe. Hibachi. Look, they got Wilt Chamberlain and they're freezing him out. Okay. Kareem. Another Connecticut boy, Kareem Butler.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Cassell against Arenas. It's right outside.
Oh, they're going to get him up.
I'm shocked that it didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on
Oh, good D, Shaq.
every time.
Pass to Redd. Here's the 3.
Oh, they're going to get him up.
And the assist goes to O'Neal.
This is going to be more modern days for y'all.
The sweet shooting lefty.
They going to get them shots up, all these boys.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. From deep, Arenas.
Gilbert.
Rebound by the Bucks. This game against Miami here, their first look at the Heat.
And in their season series against this squad last year, very lopsided in their favor.
Yeah, they swept them and basically told them in how they played, you're not on our level yet. And they look to continue that dominance tonight.
And here's Arenas following the 3 from Ray Allen. Butler is screen on Cassell.
You know they're going to run all that. Wilt with the rebound. Let's go, Wilt. Get busy, Wilt. Wilt out there with a bunch of gunners. Kobe. Kobe for 3. Rookie Kobe. He is only an 80 overall right now. Kobe doesn't make his big stride until year 3, where he becomes a starter.
Here's Cassell. 11-point game his last
So
out.
that's when we'll represent. But he gets better from year 1 to year 2, obviously. But he doesn't take his big stride until about year 3. Whereas you're going to see Jordan get better
It's a 5-point game.
rapidly after year 1. You're going to see Magic Johnson get better. You're going to see a lot of these guys get rapidly better after year 1. LeBron James is going to get extremely good from year 1 to year 2. Kobe Bryant will make that super leap in year 3.
In a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where
That's what I'm saying. This is why this is going to be so interesting to watch it unfold, because as rookies, you know, some of them weren't at their peak powers, but when they get to the next couple of years of their career, you know, I could juice them up.
Beautiful to see. Love the way they're working that ball around.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Michael Red on the wing.
Red again. Oh my goodness, this team gonna be hard to beat. They got Shaq down low and they got a bunch of shooters. Perfect draft for the Bucks. Perfect draft pick. Shaq.
Won by O'Neal. Pass to Allen. Lobbed up
Oh, good pass. Shaq.
Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Perfect setup for O'Neal on the alley-oop.
The
Giving
Rat,
the
Sam
young player
Cassell, the original Rat.
do his thing.
My boy look crazy.
Now here's Kobe. Boozer with it. He's guarded by Thomas. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
It all started with the pass. That's what coaches love to see, ball movement.
Outside Thomas.
Where they going with it? Ray.
Outside.
Another one. Good pick from Shaq.
Basket for Milwaukee.
Ooh, they running down screens from mid ranges. That's crazy.
Makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong
Down
pick.
screens from mid ranges is wild.
All-time hit. Mason he checked in for Miami. Chris Bosh has checked in for Milwaukee. Boozer a screen on Red. Mason kicks to Butler. Boozer passes to Chamberlain.
Wilt says, move out the way, Shaq.
He hangs in there and
Move
pushes
out the
in
way,
on
dog.
second-chance points.
Move out the way, dog.
Activity level on the board.
You can't do nothing with me.
Wow.
Wilt is the highest rated player of all the rookies.
Here's Thomas. Some solid defense.
Look at Holmes. He jumping at everything. Like, Wilt, ridiculous. Who's your team in college? I don't really have a college team, bro.
Outside Arenas.
I watch a lot of Duke and North Carolina, though, because I'm down there. So,
Nailed from three-point land.
no, I don't really have a particular college team. But UConn would be my college team, if anything, because that's where I'm from. So I'm from Connecticut. We don't have any teams. And if I'm going to root for somebody against anybody, it would be UConn.
A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game.
So, partial to the
Butler
Huskies.
with the ball.
But I watch a lot of Duke and North Carolina now because I'm down there.
Now just a 1-point Bucks lead.
But it's UConn all day, man. UConn all day, man.
Keep this up.
High-octane action for
So when I see Ray Allen, Kareem Butler, and them boys, you know, I get nostalgic.
Defended by Butler. And the
Uh.
bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively.
Travis Knight,
Houses checked
Kareem
in for
Butler,
Miami.
Rudy Gay, Rashomel Jones from Stanford as well.
Now here's Arenas.
I know all them dudes.
Over curve.
Used to see Sue Bird and
For the Heat.
Arenas' role is to score the ball. He's a very active shooter. and
You see him
keeps
all,
the
man.
defense on its heels with
Sue
his
Bird,
attacking
Carol
style.
Walters.
Thomas against Mason.
What's the girl Ragnati?
Thomas with the ball.
See her all the time.
Bucks passing it around.
Shay Ralph. See her all the time.
Jumper to drop.
Cooper Flag hooping, yeah, he hooping. Number one pick, consensus number one pick right now. If it happened today, I pick him number one. He
Now
hooping.
Mason.
He got tremendous upside.
Good game in their win against the 76ers. Here's
Oh Lord, can't be in there with Shaq. Not with Shaq.
4-6 from long range.
Tim Thomas.
Thomas, no good.
Very surprising that he came away empty there.
Don't think there's a debate right now. Me neither.
To operate.
I don't think there's a debate who the number one pick is going to be next year. Oh no, Wilt. Wilt treating him. He dosing Shaq right now. He treating him. He treating him. Let's see who's out. Shaq's still in the game, so we're gonna stay with it. Shaq about to give Morning that work. Speaking of women, Juju is already my favorite. I love her. Yeah, Juju's nice, man. The women's basketball got a lot of really good players coming up, so it's gonna be fun to watch women's basketball come of age. I think NBA basketball took them about 20 years. You know, that's where women's basketball is about now, about 20 something years, about 20, 25 years. So it's about time for them to take that next leap. It's going to be fun to watch the next crop of basketball players come up. You got Caitlin Clark out there. You know, we all love her. You got Juju coming in. You got Agumba Wale is real fun to watch. You got a bunch of really, really good women basketball players out there right now that are fun to watch. Up, you got Chris Bosh on this Bucks team coming off the bench, which is crazy.
Impressive work down on the block.
Milwaukee leading by 4.
Up, they left Red open again. He's pulling them holes. They're going to take 33s. Up, that's a bucket. Boozer. His son's about to come into the league. They're about to go play college at Duke. And you got Gilbert Arenas, kid.
46 seconds left to play in the first. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
He's nice with it.
Milwaukee needs to get on.
Up, Shaq.
And Shaq with the slam.
Understanding the offense. O'Neal showing you his basketball IQ.
Yeah, Boozer's kids can hoop.
That's promising for the future, too.
Now here's Arenas. He has 7.
Boozer.
Arenas setting up teammates. What a great pass.
Milwaukee in the lead.
We're going to find out who the GOAT is. He going to USC? Who going to USC? These kids ain't going. Cameron Boozer ain't going to Duke? That's crazy. Boy named Cameron and he ain't going to Duke. It's crazy. Or you talking about Gilbert Arenas' kid? Elijah's Gilbert's kid's name? Right? Yeah, Elijah Arenas. He's nice. Okay. Eddie House. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be nice to see. I'm talking about the Boozer twins. Like, you know they're going to Duke. There ain't no way they're not going to Duke. If they're not going to Duke, I don't know what the hell Duke is doing. There we go. See if we can get there. We got a 14-point lead for the Bucks. Tim Thomas has 22. We got Shaquille O'Neal with 10 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals right now. And Kobe Bryant has 14, and Wilt has 14. Kobe has 7 assists as well. But Wilt has 14 and 14. So let's see what goes on in the last 5 minutes of this game. They are losing it. Oh, Gil's son's going to USC? Okay, that's cool. I'm about to say, if you said that Cameron Boozer and his brother are not going to Duke, like, I don't know what's going on with the world. Like, the boy's name is Cameron. He knew where he was going when he was born. Okay, Arenas. Let's go, Gil. It's crazy that they got the coaches on the sideline too. It's gonna be fun when we see Eric Spoelstra get hired. And
Well, I think they've been lethal from beyond the arc this game.
look at George Karl.
Hard to defend such spot-on shooting.
And also, they are working the opposition from the mid-range, continuing
Shaq.
to fire away with confidence from there.
Look like they're going to Shaq now.
Is really good at ignoring contact when he's bumped. He's so big and strong.
Chamberlain a screen. Here's the lob to the hoop.
Wilt.
It's Chamberlain finishing it off.
I want y'all to say to anybody that says I be view botting when they come in here, look what happens when I be watching this Legends League. Nobody be watching. Nobody watches but the hardcore people that's watching. I F with y'all. Thank you.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
Let's go, Wilt. Wilt getting at him now. Wilt getting at him.
His momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
You know, that's
When we was in pro and we had like 200 something.
don't last minutes, they last days.
Sam I am breaking. Look at Shaq fighting for the board.
More of this, so you better get used to Shaquille O'Neal overpowering defenses.
Okay, Shaq, knock down the free throw. Young Shaq. Knocked them both down.
And here are the Heat now.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Chamberlain with a screen on Cassell.
I'll be view botting though, right? Don't you think I'll be having 200 in here now?
It's hauled in by Thomas.
I don't know if it'll get to be 400.
Thomas got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game.
I don't know about that. I said solid 3.
Allen passes to Cassell.
D. Will, AK-47, Boozer. Yeah, that was a nice little trio that didn't win nothing. Shaq! Oh my goodness, Shaq.
Oh, my. O'Neal.
Shaq versus Wilt is crazy. They just overpowering each other at the rim.
Cassell against Arenas. Pass to Chamberlain. Back to Arenas. Boozer a screen on Cassell. Here's Arenas. Oh,
Get that out of here.
off the glass. Wow.
Get that out of here too. It's on Wilt again. This Bucks team is just really good, man. They got a shot at winning the title. I don't know who's going to win the title since, you know, that Shaq and Kobe team is no longer here. Duncan is not on the Spurs anymore. I don't know who's going to win the title. Michael Redd. Oh, my goodness. They are smacking.
Got assist number 10 tonight with that last one.
Kobe.
Ryan against Allen. Boozer with it. An
Good move, Boozer.
finish with a hand right in his face. Boozer's got 24.
Boy, he's playing out of his head, nailing everything. When the defense is scrambling to try to stop him right
This
now.
game looked like it's over.
No go.
It's Thomas on the
Tim Thomas for 3 now. They all shooting them. Modern day game.
They had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Abachi.
back to Bryant. And yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary.
Flagrant foul on Shaq.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get
Wilt about to have 20
so much
20 and 14.
Easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He'd better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. Stolen by O'Neal.
Shaq on one.
Arenas against Cassell. Pass to Thomas. Red kicks to Allen.
Up high pick and roll for Ray.
Over Bryant. Allen's shot is off. Miami's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it. 9 times they've missed.
Kobe.
There's no doubt about this.
Another miss. He'll be knocking those down soon. Shaq. Good D.
The sheer
He'll be knocking them down soon.
was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they sink one and then do it again, and that strategy did work.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken
Yeah.
advantage with this win tonight.
No, he ain't making nothing. Bum.
That simply, though,
All the benches are cleared.
end of game 1 is just that much more motivated to get
Desmond Mason sighting.
and 3. So I think the edge goes to
That's it right there. Gonna get a 10-point win for the Milwaukee
11
Bucks.
seconds left in the 4th quarter of this
Milwaukee Bucks. Now we're gonna check the stats in the standings. See what's going on.
So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one
Shaq with 16 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals with 1 block. And he hit 4 for 4 from the line. That's crazy. Over here we have Wilt Chamberlain with 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 steals and a block. He definitely hooped. Kobe Bryant, decent game, 14.7 assists, 2 turnovers, 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3. Gilbert Arenas, 1 of 6 from the 3. Didn't really have himself a game. Boozer had a great game. Boozer's been a good player for a long time in the league. So we'll see how he pans out with this new little format here. But we got the rookie leaders right now. We got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is averaging 32 points a game. Melo's averaging 28. Michael Jordan's averaging 27.2. 25 for Bird, 24 for Wilt, 23 for Duncan, 21 for LeBron James. Magic Johnson's averaging 21. Shaq with 18 and 12. Bill Russell with 16 and 14. Kobe Bryant only averaging 12.7, but he averaged 7 points in his first season with the Lakers. Rebounding wise, Wilt Chamberlain's up there. He's got 16 boards a game, 15 for Kareem, 14 for Bill Russell, 12 for Shaq, 12.6 for Duncan. So they're right up there at the top. You got Larry Bird and Magic averaging 9 and 8 respectively. Assist-wise, Magic Johnson at 11.2, Bird 7.6, LeBron James at 5.7. Mike and Kobe both averaging 3.8. Steals per game, Michael Jordan's averaging the most steals per game. He's averaging 2.3 out of all rookies. LeBron at 1.9, Magic 1.8, D Wade, Carmelo. Blocks, you got Kareem at 2.6, Wilt 2.4, Shaq 2.3, Duncan 2.2, Russell at 2.0, D Wade at 2.1. There's a lot of blocks to go around right now. Turnover wise, Jordan is leading in turnovers with LeBron second and Magic third. They handle the ball a lot for rookies right now, so see how that works. Field goal percentage, Jordan is right under second in field goal percentage. He's higher than Wilt. All these guys, so he's taking very, very good shots. The most shots per game right now, Kareem's taking the most, then Melo, then Duncan, and Jordan. Everybody's pretty much around the same. That's field goals made. Field goals attempted, you got Kareem, Carmelo, Bird, Duncan, LeBron, then Jordan. 3-point percentages, Jordan is shooting 50%, but I'm pretty sure most of this stuff doesn't qualify. Plus minus right now, Shaq has the best plus minus with Wilt underneath him, and that's crazy because they just beat them. So Wilt must be playing really good when he's on the court, and so is Kobe. But all of them are in the plus and plus minus, they're not in the minus side. So it's not bad right now what we're looking at. Season awards, Allen Iverson, Wilt Chamberlain, Vince Carter have the players of the weeks. On the eastern side, on the western side, you got Kareem, the Magic. Then Kevin Garnett, players of the month. You know, we only had about 5 games in, or 3 games in that month, so that's pretty skewed. And the standings right now, you got Miami is number 1. They're 11 and 1. So that Kobe-led team is 11. Not Kobe-led. That Wilt Chamberlain team is 11 and 1. Then you got the Hawks at 10 and 1. On the Hawks, we have this Jason Terry and them. That's crazy that they're up there. Felipe Lopez, haven't seen that name in a long time. 9 and 3 for the Bucks. The Shaq and them. Larry Bird and them are 8 and 4. And that right there is probably the worst team in the East that has one of those rookies. In the Western Conference, you got LA and Kareem at number 1. You got Jordan and them sitting at number 6. You got Utah and these boys with Bill Russell at number 4. You got LeBron and the boys at number 9. Magic and them are at 12th. And I forgot, always be forgetting about Duncan. Duncan is right here. Duncan at 8 and 4, so they're balling too. So he's on Detroit. He got a nice team around him. So everybody's doing pretty good except for the Trailblazers, and everybody else is on the winning side of things except for the Trailblazers and the Nuggets right now. I think the Nuggets got a lot of goodness in their future though, because LeBron James is LeBron James. You know what I mean, he's gonna get it done. Now, will he stay loyal and stay there? I don't know. But we about to hop off for a little bit. About to relax. But this is what I'm doing in my spare time. So if you guys want to see more of this right here, you guys can go on YouTube and check the videos. I'm going to be doing really in-depth videos, sort of like how I'm doing right now. But it'll flow a lot better. You know, I won't have a whole 40 minutes where I got the game paused and, you know, I'm talking to a fool about something crazy. Well, anyway, you guys, nothing but love for y'all. Enjoy the outro. I know you haven't seen it in a while. Basketball can be real in this mode.
Let me tell you why you're
You just have to know how to make it real.
What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is? Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
This can't be what? Be real? Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. go from there. It's a choice I